Hello, good morning, good evening, good afternoon, whoever, wherever, whoever, whatever you
Whatever.
may be. My name is Brian. I'm here with Allison, and this is the Slim Zerker. I
Slim
just left
Zerker.
it Rantzerker in the title because I didn't want to confuse people more than we already do. But
The
but it's
Sans
basically,
Karen Zerker.
yeah, it's a sans Karen Zerker. It's just so it'll probably be slightly less ranty, but maybe a little bit more focused. I don't know.
On to, on to, on point.
Yeah, a
Yeah,
little bit.
just we're just mopping up on this. What the heck is this? The Homeland Security targets
Yeah, they're
us, I guess.
directing all systems are go to get us off the platform or redirected. It's
Yeah,
it's for the
redirected.
sake of the children is all I'm saying.
Yeah, if you didn't know, you're listening to some seriously out there content. You may think it's common sense, but Homeland Security would like to have a word with you about that.
Yes. They beg to
Okay.
differ.
All right. And
So we're
speaking
yeah,
speaking
go
of
ahead.
making sense, we are doing our monthly fundraiser. I did start it a bit early because I was hoping to get it done perhaps earlier, but who knows? You guys always come through, but you like to you like your brinksmanship. So, but if you would like to help out, it is at feedthebadger.com/support. And if you'd like to send us a message throughout the show, I've suddenly acquired a speech impediment. I have a very good friend back in Rome named Biggest Dickus. Okay, all right. Um, you can do so at feedthebadger.com/just the tip. That's feedthebadger.com/just the tip. You get the full benefit of evading YouTube's redirection efforts. There we go, tied back into the subject. And we get the full benefit of whatever funds you send us. Once again, that's feedthebadger.com/just the tip. Tell us we're not screaming into the void by sending us a message.
I
Okay,
don't
let's get
know.
started.
Every day that passes, I feel like we're less likely to be screaming to the void because
Yeah.
other people are being vomited up out of the void and they're finding themselves near us.
Yeah, they're
It's
they
sort
they're
of
vomited out of the on the other side of the chasm, the chasm that I talk about. The chasm that requires a
yeah.
lot of pain for people to actually cross. Yeah, they're being vomited up on our side and they're like, "Yes, welcome. Welcome to the civilization on the other side of the chasm. We have we have scones." Okay, let's get doing.
All
Let's
right, so
do
we're gonna
gritting.
be continuing this video, and I have
Mhm.
a very useful tool for finding specific bits of content. So I have this tool, it creates a transcript of an entire video. So this video is like an hour and a half long. So in Badger time, that would take us about 15 years to go through.
Yeah.
So with this tool, we can just search a keyword. So and it'll find it in the transcript and it'll take you right to the point in the video where these words were used. So I decided to test it out and I typed in a favorite, misogyny. And
Mm.
I lo and behold, I found it. so so here it wasn't really that hard, I know. So here is
You only found one instance of
no, no,
misogyny?
no. There's a couple. It's in
This
here
is not
more than one
this is
time.
not well seasoned. This is not
No.
fully
Well,
spiced.
you know what I noticed about the transcript because I was looking at this. There's
Mm.
a couple things. I think one thing that's actually very interesting is they are they appear to be trying to avoid using words like misogyny and chauvinism and sexism because I think that those words are losing their power. And so
Mm.
instead, they use words like radical, like violent, you know.
Mm.
So they're ramping up the lingo. So misogyny
Escalating. It's
doesn't
escalating.
come up that much, but I think it's because they feel like, and I don't think it's true, but I think they feel as though it will fall on deaf ears. And so it probably isn't constructive. And that might have something to do with their own sort of like, idea about
Mm.
people like not caring enough about dangerous, violent misogyny. You know what I mean?
Mm. Like people don't care enough about women.
Yeah, that's
Why don't they care even more about women?
I
How
think
can we care more
so.
about women? All right.
So you wanted me to start. So I found and if you guys want to, you can send me a message with a keyword you want me to look up and see if it's in here. That could be like a fun game. It'd be like bingo, but you're like guessing the numbers to see if they're
And the link
inside
is in
of
the low bar?
what?
The link is in the low bar?
To the video?
Yeah, no, to the transcript.
No. You're guessing. So you can't look at the transcript because then you can just see what's in it. You're basically saying, oh, does it have, is, I don't know, like extremism in here and how many times? Is entitlement in here? Is rape culture in here? Is white supremacy in here? Like things like that. And you can,
I
and
see.
I'll
Yeah.
search
Okay.
for it, and then we'll play a clip if it comes up to see what the context is.
All right, so guys, send us a hot topic, a buzzword. Send us a buzzword.
Yeah, send us
super
see if
chat,
how many buzzwords are in here. That's exactly
through
right.
super chat, and we will search the document. But until then, we will look at the instances of misogyny in this. What is the document called again?
You got to start at the beginning. Well, the video is diverting hate, I think it's called.
Diverting hate.
So invent to prevent collegiate finals fall of 2021.
This is an additional. Like this isn't the it is the invent to prevent the same group as the one that is trying to create Twitter.
The Department of Homeland Security people.
Yeah, I know that they applied to Department of Homeland Security, but was this a different group other than the one that we covered before? Is this a new group or is this the same group?
No, it's the same group. Like we started watching this video, but here's the thing about this. So I've watched more than half of this already. Almost actually, I'm in the last 25%, like the last quarter of the video. And what I'm realizing is, and this is actually pretty to me, it's pretty scary. These are college students that have all put together their own presentations, and they're trying to win a kind of award or accolade or contest with their college professors. And they all have the same objective. It's like essentially come up with a solution for online violent misogyny. And so the reason why I think this is actually probably one of the most interesting things is it shows you just how thoroughly indoctrinated these students are and what encourages it. So it's not like they just go to a class and the teacher is like, we're going to learn about how women were oppressed throughout all of history. It's not just that, because if it was just like that, then maybe some of them will question their teacher. They'll be a little bit more critical or whatever. But one of the ways they get these kids over the hump is they say, we're going to have a contest. Whoever can make the best case for patriarchy is the winner. And so all these kids that are really they're trying to get a good education. They want to get that accreditation. They want to get out with the highest accolades because it gives them the best chances of getting a job. And so they will do that, right? They will go above and beyond. And because all the kids and their instructors and the professors are all aiming towards the same target, which is, online hate groups, then these students are more likely to believe it. So it's not just coming from what is perceived to be an authoritative source, which is their professors, but they're also encouraged to research it. So they're going to go and to come up with these plans. And so they're going to go to people who already have a bias. They're going to go to sources that already have a bias, and they're never going to be introduced to anything outside of it. So in a way, I feel like what we're going to hear is probably going to be infuriating, but bear in mind, these are students. They're not saying stuff that they legitimately believe. They're saying what they think they have to win the award, to get the accolades, right?
Yeah, exactly.
And maybe they'll believe it after a while. You know what I'm saying?
No, I gotcha. Yeah. Well, I mean, now they're invested in it. Now it's a sneaky way of getting them invested in this particular point of view. The thing is that there's a phenomenon where if you bring someone who's completely neutral, like for example, you show them a court case, and then you have them, for example, argue the defense, and say you put a group of people, you have one group argue the defense and the other group argue the prosecution. even though they came to the court case without any prejudgment, any bias, once they've argued one side and they've invested in it, they are now biased for that side. It's something that everybody needs to be concerned about in their own beliefs and their own expectations. But when you do things like this, like when you present to students in college this kind of take this side and argue it, they invest in believing what they've argued. It's sort of an aspect of human psychology, even if they didn't believe either way before they started arguing it.
Yeah, exactly. So, all right, so let's get into the video. I'm going to start by looking for the first case of misogyny. This is 53 minutes and 53 seconds in. It's kind of a long way to wait.
Long damn video.
See, it is a long video. It is. So, and they're introducing a presenter. So this is like the third, I think, presenters, and they're all essentially.
Flood? No, that can't be Michael Flood.
I don't know. Is that Michael? I don't think Michael Flood
looks
does
like
he look
him.
like that? I have no idea.
Yeah, he does look like that.
Does he? Oh, well, I don't know who that is.
Oh, well, but this might be this is in the University of Atlanta, is it?
Yes, University of
North
Carolina.
I think he's in
North
Australia.
Carolina, I think. Yeah.
So it's like Atlanta Flood.
Mm-hmm.
That can be misconstrued. All right, let's
All right,
go.
let's play this first clip. Here we go.
John.
Hi, you guys. Thanks so much for that presentation. And I will openly admit a little
Oh my God, the
bias
glasses.
because I actually, when I worked at Facebook, helped launch some of their redirect initiatives in about 5 different countries.
All right, just pausing there. I want to read what she said, okay? Here's what she said. I will openly admit a little bit of bias because I actually, when I worked at Facebook, helped launch some of their redirect initiatives in about 5 different countries. So she's already been working with Facebook in redirecting content. Obviously, we knew that this was going on for years because, we were affected by it. We had our fan page shut down, and it's not just Facebook. It's obviously
actually we had our fan page shut down for nudity, for violating nudity of all things. It was
what was the nudity? I don't remember it. Well, doesn't matter. It was our fan page, so. And it was too bad because that was actually it was growing quite a bit. It was a pretty big page for a Facebook page. But anyway, so just, this woman, she works in big tech. So
she could have been responsible for shutting it down.
She could have been.
I wouldn't be surprised.
Yeah.
And also they took away, because I went through the trouble of getting Honey Badger Radio verified as a company, because we are. And they took that away too. They took it away for all small businesses, actually. So yeah, Facebook has been blocking us, cock blocking us too. I mean, all the platforms have been. The only platform we're actually growing on is Twitter. Wow, isn't that a surprise, huh, guys?
Thank you, Elon. I know it's true. It is.
I mean, and I know we're not growing. Like, let's be frank.
Oh, I think we're getting the reach that we are probably that we would organically have gotten anywhere else.
Yeah, and I'm not saying that we're going to be huge. Like, we're not packaged in the way that people who come to these media platforms and they want to present sort of a set schema, this is Wild West. The whole idea of considering men in the gender conjecture, is totally Wild West. It's like there's a lot of new thought that's happening. So it's like a different thing. It's like we're inviting a discussion, whereas a lot of other people who come to the social media platform are really just applying a lens that are already existing political position, and it's different. And I'm not saying that they're bad and we're good. I'm just saying that appeals to a lot more people than what we do, because we're not really offering certainties, and we're certainly talking about things that people find uncomfortable. Like, okay, a while back, Shu did a video in which she directed whoever in her audience was open to it to come to our Discord to talk to us as a community that's really about trying to do something about the epidemic of loneliness for men, and also the epidemic of being targeted by a demonizing narrative. But let's set that aside. So one of these individuals came into the Discord, And he started talking about big P patriarchy and
Really?
yeah, no, toxic masculinity. And I said to him, why, toxic masculinity is putting the onus back on men. Like if it's really about expectations placed on men, why do we call it this is exactly what I said. If it's about toxic expectations placed on men, why do we call it toxic masculinity instead of toxic expectations? And he bailed just from that
Bailed?
question. Yeah. Like
Yeah.
he just disappeared. And it was interesting to me because I think that what bothered him most was the way that questions men's identity of like the ultimate arbiters of the buck stops with men, basically. And I think
Yeah.
that's really uncomfortable.
That's definitely. And
It
it's
is
something we run into a lot too, right?
yes.
Like that guy that's been challenging us to a debate for like the last few
Yeah.
days.
I don't even want to deal with like he's so
I
annoying.
know. It's just,
It's
it's
just
funny because
and
they're
it's
like
not
so
it's so
certain that this is about winning some kind of debate. And it's like, guys, we're just trying to table the discussion.
yeah.
You don't even know what we're asking for. You don't even know what we stand for,
Well, here's the thing. How are men supposed to take care of the wounds women give them or could give them? How are they supposed to take care of those wounds or prevent them if they don't recognize them in the first place?
Mm-hmm.
Like, how do you take responsibility for your life if you don't recognize its pitfalls? Like, you just can't. It's
Yep.
it's the male role now is another way of putting your fingers in your ears and saying, not my problem. My life isn't my problem. The pitfalls that could occur to me as not my problem because they don't exist. That's another way of putting your fingers in your ears and going la 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 la. Okay, it's another way
Mm-hmm.
of denying reality and living in copeland. So, and it's hard because it does run up against the identities that we have as men and women, and that's uncomfortable. And like I've said multiple times now, it's not about us being so impossible to understand because we're like 160 IQ. No, this stuff is easy to understand. Don't keep pushing on the pole door. Don't keep pushing on the pole door. Somebody with a functional intelligence can understand that. But people don't get it because they are identifying with opening doors by pushing on them. It's as simple as that. And then if you say, well, I think this door needs to be opened by pulling on it, they get really upset because now you're challenging their identity. That's what happens when people identify with particular forms of solutions.
Mm-hmm.
If something comes up that isn't solved with the solution that they identify with, they will spend forever explaining how the problem is wrong and the solution is correct. So you got to pull door, you're pushing it. They're going to spend forever sitting outside in the rain, in the sleet, in the baking heat in summer, explaining how the door is wrong instead of simply opening the door by pulling on it. And we've seen this happen over and over and over again. All right.
Yep.
All right.
So I
I
got
just love
some
her glasses.
Oh, it's all right. I got some super chows and super chats and stuff. So I'm gonna read them because they will disappear from my
Okay, good.
my social stream ninja. So one Richard Bier gives us $5 and just says patriarchy. I think he wants me to search patriarchy. I will do
After
that one
misogyny.
next after we're done with the misogyny. I'm sure well, I don't know. Maybe it's not. Like like I said, I think the feminists have been trying to like reorient the tactics, like not using the same words because they know that people are just sort of getting like a bad taste in their mouth from it. But thank you, Richard, for that. Then I got let me see. I think I saw like a Rumble rant or something. So I just want to find it in the chat here. Yes, I did. Iggy Thunders gives us $5. Thank you, and says, "Feminist, the MRAs are turning the frogs base. Do you understand that? And I'm not going along with it. You understand that?" Okay, I don't think feminist is your word suggestion. I think you're just making a super chow. Let me know, or a super chat. Rumble rant. I'm sorry, a Rumble rant. And then I got a super chat from Senior Sticks, and he says for $2, "Did you hear about PM Trudy fight ISIS with the gay?" I don't. Is that so? I guess Trudeau. Is that
What
what
are
you
they?
mean by PM Trudy?
What are
Fought
they?
ISIS with the gay.
They're dusting off the. I think it was the like an old CIA psyops where they were trying to do like a gay ray. That they would use against enemy forces so that they would be too absorbed in having sex to actually fight.
Oh,
I'm pretty sure
okay.
that they did that once.
That's like some Samson and Delilah shit right there. That's old. That goes way
Uh,
back.
well, what's interesting is the I think it was the CIA that was trying to do it. Like all of the wacky shenanigans around Castro with the CIA versus Castro. You've heard about all that, right?
Yeah, I think so.
It's like
Is this recent?
no, I think this is like declassified information, but
Oh,
they used to get up to some seriously bizarre ideas, let's just say.
not surprised. I
No.
mean, we have a weakness.
We have a weakness.
So
okay, let's hear what you have to say.
honestly, I think that when it comes to exploitation, like psyops and all this stuff, like using our lust is probably the most like consistently effective means of control. I mean, just ask Jeffrey Epstein. Oh, I'm sorry. Wait, he's no longer with us.
Okay,
Rip.
but here's the thing. Using your lust is one thing, but inducing gayness in the enemy in order to distract them with themselves, that's a couple levels.
It's a bold strategy, Cotton. Let's see how it works out for them.
Yeah, they try.
I mean, they're doing it to people's kids. I mean, I don't know. Might be effective.
They're not actually making them gay. They're making them question their. Oh, did you? Okay, I'm not going to get into it.
Let's get back on topic. Okay,
let's get
so
back
I got
on
one
topic.
more. I did get one more super chow from Richard Bier again, and he gives us $5 and says, "Remember how popular the glasses that Sarah Palin had were during the election campaign? Lots of women wanted that style." No, I didn't. I wasn't paying attention.
Okay,
but thank you for that, Richard. All right, let's play the rest of this clip.
What is this woman's wisdom?
Moonshot very well. So you're definitely, what I liked is that you weren't starting from zero. There definitely has been efforts to redirect, but not that I know of on Twitter so far. I know it exists on Facebook, Instagram, Bing, YouTube, Google, but usually not around misogyny-based violence.
When was this? When did
2021.
Okay, so before Musk took over. It's unbelievable.
No, 1 year ago. Yeah, it says the fall. So the video was put up 1 year ago, but it says the fall 2021 invent to prevent program. Yeah, this is before Elon Musk took over.
Okay, so I'm guessing. So now that Musk has taken over, he's basically just pulling the lid off of all this and throwing it out.
Yeah, I guess so. I mean,
this might be small potatoes for him. He might not have any interest in the
it probably is, but I think like I'm sure there's lots of things going on behind the scenes over at the X platform, the artist formerly known as Twitter platform. By the way, it is the season. Merry Xmas for those of you who are on X. I think we're gonna call our Christmas stream the Xmas stream because I think it would be a good idea to use X spaces and like have people call in and stuff or join, but we'll have to keep it under control because the last time I was in a space, it was kind of insane. People were just yelling at each other. So
is that what it descended into when I left?
I mean, admittedly, I kind of participated, but like a little bit. But but there is a way to like you have to be a pretty decent moderator, and you mute people when they start talking over others, and you give people space, and then it works out. I think it works out. So as long as people are behaving like adults.
Well, imagine if you do a Christmas space, you're gonna have to deal with those people chomping at the bit, as it were.
Yeah,
the funny thing is I was actually considering having a debate with him until he called me chicken. I'm like, yeah, no, you're not worth it.
Yeah.
I was actually like, okay, well, just give me a bit of your framework of where you're coming from. He started to refuse to answer questions and then called me a chicken. And I'm like,
Yeah,
And
you know what
then-
it reminds me of? Do you remember that Manhood University?
Yeah, the Manhood University. And you know what? This could be the
You're an effing coward. You
God,
want to
no.
beat us? Debate us. It's
This
like I
could
don't really
be-
want to. Like I know what you're trying to do. You want to raise your platform because you don't really want to talk about this stuff. Like I don't
No.
know.
You just wanna-
I'd have him on, but I'm kind
Yeah,
of like,
that's fine.
yeah, he can
You
come
got
on
more
and yell at me
patience
if he
than I
wants.
do. You got more patience than I do. Okay, let's listen.
All right, let's listen more. So she did mention, she said, I know it exists on Facebook, Instagram, Bing, YouTube, Google, but usually not around misogyny-based violence. So, and then I think she's going to say, so I know of case studies more focused on white supremacy.
More focused on white supremacy, QAnon, and Islamist extremism. With that in mind, knowing this target audience, and again, I know a lot about this community. We work with a lot of researchers. This is not a very cohesive community. It's not like joining an official terrorist organization with a brand. It can be quite diverse. And the manosphere, some of the terms you mentioned are kind of maybe less incel or more the broader manosphere. And I wanted to know a little bit about still the fact you are targeting a quite vulnerable and often insulated audience. One is, what were the safety procedures or ethical concerns that you raised internally by trying to target what is potentially a dangerous audience to other community groups or to yourselves, and just any of that consideration. And then also when you think of other platforms, where did you think you might want to spread this sort of initiative beyond Twitter?
All right, let me see.
Good God. We're looking at the
Yeah.
face of evil.
I know. What
This is-
like
this is
she
a
she
desire-
went she was in front of a mirror that morning and said, I'm going out with this look. I'm gonna have my hair in a
No,
bun.
it's not the
I'm
look.
gonna wear a
It's not-
turtleneck sweater and these horn rimmed glasses.
It's not the look.
This is all on purpose. This is all on
I know,
purpose.
I know, and it's not the look that I'm
premeditated.
talking about. It's not the look I'm talking about. I'm talking about the satisfaction in
The
controlling
expression.
others.
Yeah.
The satisfaction in being this controlling and silencing people.
Mm-hmm.
Right. This is self-righteous satisfaction in taking away the human rights of others. This is evil.
Yeah.
Now, she may not, I don't know, maybe there's a kernel inside her that is good. But right now what she's doing is contemptible and evil. And she's doing it because she believes she can't be wrong. Either she can't be wrong because she is getting money from this or some kind of kickback, some kind of emotional kickback, but she can't be wrong. And again, this is all of these initiatives are based on a premise that has, like, they will not say how you can falsify it. Right?
Mm-hmm.
I got into this, I've been in this argument with Alex Syke, again, of all people, and Michael Flood. So there's been an interesting intersection.
Is that recent?
Yeah, it's recent. Like you can look back in my Twitter timeline. It's been recent. They both.
No, I believe you.
They both came at me, you know, because Alex Syke said, because I had this Twitter challenge that if feminists send me something that they're basing the idea of women being victims because they're women, not just that women can be victims because they're human and humans are frail creatures, but victims because they're women. There's a difference there. One is a recognition of reality. The other is hanging your identity on that, on something, on a expectation of something, right? If feminists send me a piece of data that they support the assertion that women are victims on, I can find a study that counters it. So it's just a Twitter challenge. And of course, Alex Syke is all over that and saying that's not science. It has to be the preponderance of the evidence, herp a derp. Well, first of all, it's a Twitter challenge. Like I can't explain in a Twitter challenge that's going to be paid attention to. Oh yes, it has to be peer reviewed. The methodology has to be sound, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. You know, that's a bit much, but we can get into that nuance in the discussion. But anyway, he says that. This other feminist comes on and starts asking me, well, what do you mean by what conjecture? Like, I'm like, I say, how do you falsify feminist conjecture? And he responds with, or she responds with, well, which conjecture? And then I respond with, and that is part of the problem.
Yeah, I know.
Won't even.
But which one are you criticizing? There's so many. How do you do that? And it's like, don't you see what's wrong with this?
Put forth a hypothesis. Like, this is what's astounding about this gigantic cancer in academia. Feminists don't even have a hypothesis. Like, how can it be scientific if there isn't even a hypothesis?
Yep.
Like, they won't even say, this is what we believe. These are the fundamental tenets of our particular branch of science. There's no science that doesn't do that, that doesn't actually have fundamental beliefs that can be falsified. It may be difficult to falsify them. You know, it may be a wicked problem, but it's there. They put it out there. This is what we believe. This is the theory. This is the conjectures that we're operating under. Not feminism. All I can do, my best thing that I could do, is maybe approximate what they actually, the conjecture they're actually working on based on their behavior. I shouldn't have to do that. Feminism should have that out in front. This is what we are arguing. This is what needs to be falsified. This is where we have tried to falsify these things that we're arguing. This is so, it is so unreasonable. It's so cancerous that anybody believes this stuff is fact. I don't even know what the hell they're believing as fact, because nobody will stand up to it. Like, one of the most infuriating elements of this argument, okay, is that if we look at what appears to be the main feminist conjecture, okay, men in power equals women oppressed. So there is a causal association between men being in power and women being oppressed. I've had a feminist say, when I said, how do you falsify it? I had her say, well, you prove that women are also in power. I'm like, no, you don't falsify X equals Y by saying not X equals not Y. Like, good. Okay, excuse. Let us continue with.
All right. Let's play some more of this. It's okay. All right. So they're going to respond to this in the context of course, they're discussing the incel community at this stage of the video, because this is like what they're afraid of. That's why she talked about a broader manosphere. So.
So for questions around what we did to protect ourselves and other community groups, if you explore the website, you'll see that we were very intentional in making sure that all of the content was very positive engagement focused. We never tried to label or ostracize anyone that we were targeting. So the idea is that they do not even know necessarily that they're being targeted. Secondly, the groups that we are targeting, it is a preventative strategy. So we are not necessarily attempting to target groups that have already identified and are deep within the manosphere, but rather individuals that are grazing past it on the internet and might get hooked into it and might go down that path.
So their tactic is not necessarily go after or try to redirect people like us that have been, involved, but rather any like new people that might be like wandering too close to the content. So the kind of mainstream, I guess I'll call it mainstream, like the mainstream stuff that is tangentially talking about men's issues. If they decide that in any way it could lead to the manosphere, then they're going to redirect people who find it to them. See what I'm saying? So like Chris Williamson is safe because Chris Williamson toes the feminist line. Sorry guys, it's true. He does. He may sort of like, flirt with the being kind of, feminist critical, but he really ultimately lands in a safe place so people can watch his content. And even then he might he might have they might be using this system to direct some of his followers away from, where that might lead, because someone who watches Chris Williamson may later watch Lori Penny, not Lori Penny. What's the name of the woman who's been making a lot of content that was like fighting against the sexual revolution? And she was a former feminist. I don't know. She probably still is a feminist, really. and she was on Chris Williamson. But she's also been on the Lotus Eaters. So, you know, they might be like, oh, well, even though Lotus Eaters are also like, there's a lot of blue pill shit on there. But, you know, Carl's there, and what's his name has been on there before, Philip Tanzer, and Philip Tanzer is an MRA. So it's all about like how many degrees of separation, right? And so I think that if you are Lotus Eaters, Chris Williamson, basically anybody who you would like, who actually kind of annoys me because they don't like go far enough, those people are the people who watch them are the ones that are going to be redirected. And I also think, because like they listed some of the groups, right? So she said, let me see, what was it? QAnon? I don't even know what even is that? Like, yeah, QAnon, and like Islamic terrorists, Islamist extremism, QAnon, and white supremacy. And like it, you know, so you can see that they're operating with a very, very large net. And this is, you know, the way that they decide like who are the people that, you know, we have to target. And so this is like it's important to note, because you might say, I've never spoken on QAnon, you know, but they don't care. Like it's all the same to them. It's basically like against what they think. I don't even really think QAnon is anything particularly. It's not like really like hardly defined, you know, like where there's like membership and people and they have like a list, a manifesto. I think they're just people operating in a space that gets like lumped in, kind of like what we do. So anyway, that was like the first instance of misogyny. Do you want to hear more of what this guy says?
Yeah,
let's play some
sure.
more.
So it's really about the prevention aspect of it. And was there another question on that?
Or just what your next platform of choice might be, one or two of those.
The prevention
Yes,
aspect of misogyny?
So the scalability is what we're actually really excited about
Yeah.
for this project, because building these databases, and if we can demonstrate the native experience on Twitter with a partnership with Twitter, of course, we were able to demonstrate some success with the ad campaign, recreating it. But if we can demonstrate that success, then we can take this to really every other platform, and we can also actually build databases for other extremist groups. We could build one for the manosphere more broadly. You can really take this and redirect our energies to other hate groups once you already have that framework established.
And of course, they get to decide what constitutes a hate group. And this is like, you know, what I would think is of some concern. So, do you want to go to the next instance of misogyny, or do you want to search Richard's
I'm curious
thing?
why.
Or,
I'm curious
Go
why
ahead.
my definition of misogyny can never be applied. Which
you're
is
curious
to,
about that?
yeah, which is to deny women's full humanity by not recognizing the consequences of their actions. You know, like the reason why we have free will is because of sin, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because we can make negative choices. If you don't recognize that women can make negative choices, you literally do not recognize them as people. Why is that not seen as misogyny? Like, I mean, really, we have an entire freaking political movement that's main thrust is to deny the reality that women are people by denying them the negative consequences of their actions, meaning they don't have free will. What doesn't have free will? Things that aren't human. Right? This sounds to me like the real misogyny, but of course, we can't talk about that. We have to be on a freaking Homeland Security watch list because I say things like that. And then these women who are getting freaking grants from men with guns say that I'm the one doing a patriarchal bargain? Really? Geez, I wish I could have done that patriarchal bargain when I was blocked from the U.S. for 5 years, or banned from the U.S. for 5 years for apparently not having a visa I couldn't have had before I applied at the border for the visa. Okay? Like, seriously, where's the patriarchal bargain benefiting me? Right? Because it looks like you guys are really getting the institutional support to silence everyone else. And again, like, if I were to break it down right down to brass tacks, yes, I care about men, but I'm also deeply concerned about promoting this attitude that women aren't human. Like, I'm deeply concerned that there is a gigantic government-funded apparatus that refuses to recognize the negative consequences of women's actions, which means they don't have free will, which means they are not functionally people. That concerns me. I think that attitude may have some knockdown effects that are negative for women. But, maybe I'm just talking out my ass and I'm a terrorist. Good Lord. Okay, let's keep going.
Okay. You want me to play more of this?
Is there more misogyny?
This section. Let me see if I can find something a little bit better. In the section, we looked at different individuals who were part of the Incel movement. Maybe I can start from there. This is 5744. So it's like right. It's not much further. It's like right here. I'll play it.
That you guys have looked at moderation, diversion, that just curious about, alternative voices that
it's creeping me
I
out.
can counter.
Yeah, definitely in our research section, we looked at different individuals who were part of the Incel movement. However, that data is pretty sparse at the moment. There's not a lot of collected data regarding people who have walked away from Incel movement specifically. So moving forward, we do want to include particularly people who were within the movement and have exited. That would be very, very helpful perspectives that we would be able to hopefully utilize to strengthen our messaging and our platform in general.
So they want to talk with guys who left what they're calling the Incel movement. Of course, the incels are not a movement. They are a situation that some men find themselves in, and they don't want to be. That's the whole "in" part of the word incel. I do think that there are people probably in incel spaces that, like, the saying goes, misery loves company. Maybe they don't want these guys to like succeed. Maybe they're like crabs in a bucket. But I think overall, I think that there's a couple reasons why these guys probably aren't finding a lot of success with finding incels that have left the incel movement, as they describe it. Because if you're a man, you're like having a dry, hey Mitch, if you're having a dry spell, okay, and you go like a couple years and you're not seeing anyone, you might be on the incel forums, you might be like, complaining or I don't know, expressing your frustration, but maybe you're also like trying to do something to like, increase your sexual market value or your dateability or whatever, and you're working on that. And if you succeed, then you just leave the forums. Like, you're like, well, I don't need these guys anymore because I found someone or whatever it is. So why would those guys like go to people like this that are basically just going to use them to propagandize the lonely men that are still there? Like, I don't think these people really understand what and I'm going to say incel, I mean like a real incel, not a predator, not somebody who's trying to radicalize people or whatever. I mean like a guy who is lonely. And a lot of these guys, they have disabilities, they have other like mental health issues, physical issues, whatever, right? So they're kind of, they're kind of in a bad spot. So I think that, and the thing too about incels, I think if they're on those forums, they probably know about how, like, well, for lack of a better word, how evil these people are, like groups like this. Why would they probably don't trust the government? They probably don't trust NGOs. They probably don't trust big tech. They definitely don't trust academics and feminists and the media, because like they're seeing all of this, right? So when these guys say, well, you know, it'd be great if we had some incels that we could, you know, essentially use to like help us with this. It's like, yeah, but most of them don't want to talk to you. You know?
Mm.
I mean, that's what I think anyway.
Okay.
All right, so I got, what was that?
Okay, you got
Did you
another
want to say
super
something?
chat.
Are
Oh,
you fighting
got
with
another-
people on Twitter right now? Still?
Yes, yes,
All right, well,
yes.
stop it. All right, I got another super chow from Richard. Gives us $5 and says, how many degrees of separation is there between this particular group and the old guard communist secret police searching for counter-revolutionary people or anti-communists again? Is there a gulag facility in their plans too? It's a good question. I wouldn't ask them directly, because then we might
How is this
disappear.
different than any zealots throughout history who've been searching out evidence of heresy? Like, it's not particularly different because it's motivated by exactly the same desire for control, you know, and we're just in another iteration of that because we apparently haven't learned from the 100 Years' War or the Spanish Inquisition or the
Yeah.
Nazis or everything else, the gulags, you know, the KGB. We haven't learned from all of that. We're just going to do it again and again.
Well, no, these people are sure that they're not like that at all, and that what they're doing is good because they're good people, because they
You
agree
tell
with the
me
good things and they
how it
disagree with the bad things.
Why is it not misogyny when you take away women's right to be seen as a person by taking away the negative consequences of their actions? And how can you tell me that that doesn't have a negative effect on women? I mean, I know that all the issues that surrounding how men are treated are a big problem, and I know they don't care. So that's what I'm going to ask. Like, how do you know that this isn't the worst thing that women face?
Yep.
Okay.
Good question. All right, I'm going to go to the next instance of misogyny then. Let's see what the next one is, where it comes up. Boop, 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 boop. Wait, where is 2? Did I miss it? I'm looking, hold on. This one. Where is that? Dangerous misogyny extremism. Oh, here we go. The misogyny to violent extremism pipeline. Yeah, let's do it. Oh, it's in the title, I think. 3640. Let me look here. So it kind of skipped one. That's okay. That's my fault probably.
Off your videos and microphones as we queue up the video from our next team from the Middlebury Institute of International
Oh yeah, they make
Studies.
videos and everything. These people are trying to get that A, guys. Trying to get an A. And the only way to get an A is to essentially police and
the misogyny to violent
control
extremism
incels,
pipeline,
really.
in combination with dangerous algorithms, have led to an alarming increase in targeted violence and self-harm. Incel ideology, which stands for involuntary celibate, is a mentality focused on
Stop for a
sexist
second.
beliefs.
What it's leading to self-harm among who? The incels?
Maybe.
Is she saying that incel ideology is leading to self-harm among incels?
I don't know. That's a good question. I don't think I watched this part already, and I don't think they actually answer that. So it could in fact be sympathy for the incels themselves, but that could be a kind of concern trolling too. So I don't know. All right, let's play some more.
Yeah, let's keep going.
Self-deprecation, and at its worst, encourages violence. Today,
Okay,
social
at its
media
worst,
So I'll read
violence.
that sentence again. Incel ideology, which stands for involuntary celibate, is a mentality focused on sexist beliefs, self-deprecation, and at its worst, encourages violence.
Okay. All right. So first of all, I would imagine. Yeah, you don't. In self-hatred and self-deprecation. No, self-harming and self-deprecation. So your problem is that the incels have a poor sense of self or poor self-esteem? Do you think this is helping? Do you think being targeted by Homeland Security is going to help them with that?
Yeah, really.
You think, yeah. Okay. Do you think that telling incels that the reason why they don't have a sexual partner, which incidentally everybody says that a man needs to be whole human being, like this is a constant refrain in society, that men aren't really acceptable without a sexual partner, right?
Mm-hmm.
You think that telling incels that they don't have sexual partners because of some flaw in their personality is going to improve their self-esteem? I mean, let's get away from, saying that they don't have sexual partners because of their looks. That actually is less insulting, less condemning, and less mean than saying, well, actually, it's your personality, dear. Like, I mean, at one level, they can say, well, if it's my looks, I just can't change that. But it's no fault of my own. But you're saying that you want to tell incels, or Homeland Security wants to tell incels, that the entire all their problems rest on their personality. Okay, and that's going to improve their self-esteem. As opposed to just acknowledging that we have constructed a system that now works against human mating. Like, let's just acknowledge that.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not even blaming women. I'm not blaming women. I'm just saying we have managed to construct a system that now works against human mating. Yay us. The incels are the victims of this. I would say that also the unmatched women who are selecting to be unmatched because of their standards and also believing the propaganda against men, that men are terrible partners. Like, I mean, how often do we see an article describing how men are terrible in bed, they make terrible husbands, they're horrible fathers, any woman who is partnered with a man is a sucker. Men just take, they never give.
Everything men get involved with is cringe and terrible until women get involved with it.
Yeah, how much do we see this kind of negative campaign? I mean, that's not even touching the stuff that looks like Nazi propaganda, except aimed towards men, or segregationist propaganda, except aimed to, and I'm not this isn't hyperbole. I can show you. Like, I did the video, which is all it is just a comparison of feminist rhetoric and Nazi propaganda, segregationist propaganda, anti-Irish propaganda. Just throughout history, what we've directed towards men who we considered the enemy of our society. It's the same. Like, feminist propaganda is the same as that propaganda. And I'm not even talking about that. That's not even the extreme end. This is just simply saying that men are useless and worthless. And, being in a relationship with one, why would a woman ever lower herself or be such a rube as to be taken advantage of by a man? Right? How much do we hear that? And we expect incels to be able to overcome all of that. What was actually happening is that incels are internalizing the social message about men and how worthless they are in relationships. And you basically say this constantly, not you, but the individual. This individual is part of a movement that generally what they have added to the world, to the thought sphere, is either wartime propaganda and segregation or extremely negative genocidal propaganda against men. I'm not saying that it's going to result in a genocide, but it's pretty nasty stuff. They've either added that or they've added the discourse that men are worthless in relationships. Okay? Now they're looking at an entire generation of men, of young men, who have no prospects, not just because there's no economy, there's no upward mobility in the economy anymore, which you'd think the commies would be interested in hearing, but apparently not, but also because they've been subject to a campaign by powers far greater than them saying that they are worthless in relationships. And those men are like, oh, hey, I think we're worthless in relationships, Joe. You know what? I heard on the news yesterday that we're worthless in relationships, Ted. And then they got the Homeland Security saying, oh my God, Ted and Joe, they're terrorists.
Yep. We have to redirect them to
I am
something
doing-
else. Yeah.
For those of you who cannot see, I am doing the Jackie Chan meme. Good
That's a classic.
Lord.
Yeah.
You know, and it's like, so they're saying what you have been telling them. They've internalized what feminists have said. And it is feminists that promote most of this. At least
Mhm.
traditional women will say that men are useful for something. But it's the
Mm-hmm.
feminists who are like, yeah, no, they're worthless in relationships entirely. Right? And then we have a generation of young men who've internalized it, repeated it, and now they're terrorists. Good grief.
Yep.
And
They
how is
create
what
the
I'm
problem
saying,
and
how
they
is what I'm
provide the
saying,
placebo.
how am I
or
what
the-
I'm saying anything other than common sense?
Mm-hmm.
Like, why is what I'm saying worthy of inclusion on a watch list? All I'm telling you is the result of a reasonable series of logical inferences. If you tell young men that they're worthless in relationships, many of them will internalize that and say that men are worthless in relationships unless they have some other factor that elevates them above the mass of worthlessness, like being really good looking. Or in your case, you don't want the incels to think it's good looks, even though that's patently true. You want them to think the problem is with their personality. Well, not everybody has a scintillating personality that can rivet everyone in a room, that can cold open on a woman with such a delightful joke that she decides she right then and there she wants to have your children. Not everybody is, Brian, okay? It's just crazy. Maybe I shouldn't have said that.
Oh, that's okay. All right, I got another super chow from Richard Bier, and he says, for $5, nobody expects the Spanish Inquisition. Thank you for that. It's a really great video, actually, that says that the Inquisition was good, but I would, if you have the strength, I think it's a lot better than what we're dealing with now. That's what I would at least say that. But anyway, let's keep going. All right, let's play more of this, and then I got my third clip of where the misogyny was at.
Platforms have two choices when it comes to dealing with malicious content: remove or keep.
Oh, I think
We are
went through this
proposing
one.
a third choice that addresses the threat while safeguarding free speech. With diverting hate, we provide alternative paths to hateful rabbit holes. Rather than simply deleting the content and fueling the fury of bad actors, we choose to present the option to view the content or to explore healthier options. We do this through thoughtful user design.
I don't
Beyond
think this
this
is actually
experience with
implemented, is it?
You don't think it's ethical?
No, implemented. Was this actually implemented?
You know what? I was proposed. This is 2021. I think
So they
Elon
got
Musk owns it
700,000
now,
for
so
this.
I don't think it is as much.
So they got
But-
$700,000. I don't think this was ever implemented. As long as I can't. I
Well,
don't
they
see
got. Doesn't matter. They got the money. You're
this.
welcome.
That's probably
You're
the
welcome
end
from the
result.
taxpayer. Yeah.
Good Lord. Like, this is okay. Keep going.
All right.
On a social platform like Twitter, we have also built a resource hub, divertinghate.org. We utilize effective digital marketing to intersect hateful narratives and provide outlets and tools to build resiliency. Our original database and network analysis allow us to effectively meet our audience where they are by using identified key terms, profiles, locations, and languages.
I wonder if they still are
Altogether-
doing that, because I have,
They
there
might
are.
be, but like maybe not with like they may, because the thing is they could do this in a decentralized way, I suppose.
Yeah, they can
Like
do it
without necessarily the consent of Twitter.
of Twitter. So but that's the thing. Like, I see a lot of bots or individuals that come into my mentions and start yapping about this crap. Although honestly, the most I see are the OnlyFans bots. Have you seen those? Ridiculous. But
No.
the like suddenly a woman likes one of my tweets. I'm like, I'm not saying it's impossible. There are a few, but generally I know who they are because I can count them on like one hand and both feet. But then you get like this really attractive woman who's like starts liking, and it's what it is the OnlyFans bots seem to target what they think is red pill content, because they're trying to get the men who are I guess, dissatisfied to go to OnlyFans and drop some wads of cash with them, essentially. So, but that's what I've noticed. And I've noticed that but the thing is, you never know, because feminism is an ideology, has a lot of people who adhere to it. So it just could be somebody who's obsessive, on
Yeah.
Twitter. Who knows? Or it could be
No, there's definitely
astroturfed,
the zealous true believers.
astroturfed Homeland Security bots.
Yep.
That could also be that. Honestly, like a while ago on YouTube, I remember I had this epic thread, this epic comment thread where I went round and round and round and round with this one feminist, and somehow in the middle, in the middle, and I was going round and round and round because I'm a stubborn autist. Somehow in the middle, it was almost like a shift turned over, because they didn't just refuse to acknowledge what I was saying. They seemed to forget the entirety of the conversation that had happened up to that point. And I don't mean forget as in, oh, they forgot all the arguments. I mean, literally forget. And it was like a new person had popped into that account. And now I'm really wondering if they've actually been doing that. They've actually been putting this to people who get these gigantic grants and just sit there and divert so-called divert attention by simply making these bad faith arguments, these bad faith circular arguments. You know what I'm saying? Because there's some really weird behavior.
Anyway. Well, the thing that it basically just says, like what we've been saying, this is not about the thing. This is about either making money, gaining more power, keeping your ideology relevant, or the revolution if you're like a real one. But that's it. Like, they don't care about women. They're not concerned with people's safety on the internet. Are you kidding me? Close your eyes. Go to a different website. But and the thing is, they can just continue to get money. I mean, like, for all we know, the Department of Homeland Security knows that it's like just a way to make money, and they don't care either. They're lining their pockets too, because whenever the state takes tax, you got to pay every middleman, every person along the way gets their cut until it lands wherever it lands. So if the if these people got $700,000, how much money did all of the intermediaries get for essentially getting that money and giving it to these people? And who's gonna call them out? Who's gonna challenge that? Like, do you hate women? Don't you want them to be safe on the internet? Don't you have daughters? It's like, that's what they're doing, though. I mean,
making them safe from this massive hammer of an ideology that has actually had an effect on people's perception of women's agency. And what I mean by agency is that when a woman makes a choice, it matters, not that she has infinite choices. Okay? So the difference is, in a lot of cases, I think there's a lot of people who think agency is having your cake and eating it too. Right?
Yep.
Whereas agency is having your cake and eating your cake and recognizing you're not going to have it. And telling someone, if you eat your cake, you're not going to have it later on. Right? It's as simple as that. So there's these different ways of looking at agency. One is the ability to make as many choices, or having a complete spectrum of choices without having to deal with any of the consequences of any of those choices, so that you have as many choices as possible, or those choices actually mean something, right? We have an entire not philosophical, an ideological movement that's about removing the consequences, of the perception of the consequences of women's choices, which again is dehumanizing. It's depersoning women. It's taking away the perception of their freedom, like their free will, which is depersoning them in the Western tradition. We have this movement, and nobody's like, oh, wait, maybe that has a negative effect. And it has had an effect. And the effect is that people don't perceive women's actions as being meaningful. That's why nobody wants to watch. Like, look at the Marvels, okay? You know why the
Please,
Marvels
no,
failed?
I'd rather not.
No, okay, but I'm just gonna not at the Marvels.
I know,
That's
not
talking.
literally.
All right.
Enjoy this thing and then tell me what you think. No, I'm good.
Okay. The reason why the Marvels failed, according to the numbers, isn't because men didn't go. It's because women didn't go. Nobody wants to watch it. Because nobody, like, you don't present women's choices as meaningful, which is a death to a heroic character. Nobody's going to watch a heroic character if their choices are meaningless. That takes away their heroism, right?
Yep.
And this was what this particular ideology has done to women. And you can see it in people's attitudes. They now think that women's choices are meaningless. And they don't, the more meaningless you make women's choices, the less interesting they are as characters, and the less you genuinely believe in their ability to create any change in the world. Don't you think that matters? This is just, we're just going to do this without questioning it, and we're going to do it generation after generation. And then when we earn the wages of that, and when we call it the Nordic paradox, when the obvious consequence of taking away the consequences to women's actions, the fact that women are less likely to go into STEM and all of this other stuff in cultures that take away the consequences of their actions. Well, yeah, like that's the Nordic paradox. And we ascribe that to, I don't know. We ascribe that to, who knows? Well, how about we ascribe it to the fact that the Nordic system works within a context that renders women's choices meaningless, infantile, impotent, inferior, pointless. Okay? And without those consequences, their lives are actually rather pointless. Like, I mean, literally, there is an entire industry devoted simply to giving people consequences to their actions. That's games. You go into a game world and your actions have massive consequences within that game world, unless you're in a walking simulator, which I have heard are not fun. But anyway, so you have walking simulators and you have games that are apparently good, which offer big consequences to the gamer's actions. So giving people's actions consequences has a monetary benefit. Like, people will pay you for that, and we're just like randomly taking it away from women. We're just like, yeah, in the real world, women's actions have no consequences. Those consequences are meaningless. They're impotent, worthless, and lesser than men. That's what we believe because we're feminists, right?
Yep.
We believe that empowering women is about making the consequences of their actions meaningless. But yet we have an entire very, very lucrative, a very, very lucrative industry based on granting consequences to people's actions and nothing else, really. I mean, I know there's more to games.
Well, they are trying to make all video games into walking simulators now.
Yeah,
by the way.
but you understand why now? Because they don't understand.
I do, of course, yeah.
Okay.
I'm just as an aside, since you brought up gaming, it's funny and kind of sad, but we had David Jaffe on our show like twice, at least twice. David Jaffe, in case you guys don't know,
3 times.
He was a director behind God of War and Twisted Metal, and he used to work at the company. I think it was called. Well, it doesn't matter. I can't remember now. But he was the guy behind that, and then he appeared on our show a couple times. We were talking about like how the industry was changing, and I think I talked to him a little bit about the new God of War reboot. And he was like, well, they changed it, but it's okay, I guess. Well, recently, he came out and put out another video, and he was like complaining about how they changed the character that he created, and they got away from what he was. Like so much that he was like, this is nothing like the guy that I made. And he was trying to figure out why. And I'm over here like, I told you that was going to happen, dude. Like, if you have something that is a popular brand, whatever catapulted it into where it is, because God of War is a game that he said this in an interview, I'll never forget it. Way back when it came out, he said, it's a game that you want to play after you've like been hard at work all day and you're tired and you're angry and you just want to let off some steam. And so you play this game and you play this Greek warrior and you're killing all these monsters and all that, right? And he's like, just want to blow off some steam. And I was like, yeah, that's the kind of, and of course that franchise is huge because mostly boys played it. It was almost like there was something about that was attractive, right? And then when they changed it, they made it all soft, and it was like basically watching a movie unfold, and there was all that stuff was taken out of it, and he was kind of forgiving. And I was like, I don't know, man. Like, I think it's getting far away from what you made. And then the newest expansion came out, and they didn't just change it a lot. They kind of shit on what it was. There's this thing about, like, you know, shitting on the past. And he was like upset about it. And I was like, told you so. I told you so. So anyway, just saying, like,
tell him that,
you know, some people don't want to notice the things that are happening right in front of them, even if it's slow, but you really have to pay attention because none of this is an accident. I mean, all this video tells me as we're going through it is that we're constantly getting opt in one way or another. It's constant. And it just so happened that this one, because it was probably done through a college and they put the video out there,
you're
it
probably
just
proud
so
of
happened
it.
that this one was, you know, kind of easy to spot.
Yeah, we figured they just got caught with their pants down. But what I was going to say,
or they know that most people aren't really going to dig into this. They're not going to care, so they can just tell you what they're doing.
Thank God for BX, eh? BX on X. But what I was going to say is we now have an industry that makes money off of giving people consequences to their actions.
Yes.
So this is something that is worth money. Now think about it. Feminism takes away consequences to women's actions. And we have an industry that is all about giving consequences to actions. What is the monetary cost of feminism to the average woman? I know it's a bit of a stretch.
It's not just a monetary cost, but yeah.
Oh no, but I'm just saying, like, since nobody else gives a crap, how much does feminism cost women in terms of the consequences of their actions? Which, incidentally, like, people are drawn to games because they give life meaning. Honestly, that's why they're drawn to fiction. They're drawn to any medium of entertainment or creativity. But in particular, games give people's lives meaning. It gives their time meaning. Feminism is taking that away from women. Like, there is nothing more degrading to women than feminism. And I had this feminist come at me, say, "You give us your respect. You owe us. You owe us everything as a woman." I'm like, no. Feminism owes
give me a
women.
thank you. Give me a thank you.
Thank you. Feminism owes women everything. It owes women all of its clout. It owes women all of its ill-gotten money, which then doesn't go back to helping women who are victims of anything. It owes women all of its influence. You know, it owes women all of the ears that it's turned throughout its entire history. Feminism owes women everything, and women owe feminism nothing. Not a thing.
Men do, though. They owe them their money. So,
okay. No, but you see that the thing is that, Brian, they try to make women owe feminism too.
I know.
In fact, they seem to think
you have to be grateful for their existence. Yeah.
They seem to think they own women in a way that men aren't. Like, that's one of the things that's really obnoxious about the sisterhood, quote unquote, because I don't even think they really represent that, is that they think they own you. You know, and when you say, no, you don't own me, they act like monsters. They act like gorgons. Well, you don't.
I got a super chow. I got 2 of them, actually.
Cool.
Ash Thrun Bot gives us $5 and says, I remember when Allison made the video, men act and women are acted upon. And it remains true and undefeated. RE, women's choices. When politics happen, suddenly women's votes disappear. And all blame is on men. That's true. If a man wins, and that man, well, it's usually a man that wins, and that man goes on and do something that the feminists don't like, then it's men's fault, even though women are the majority of voters. Thank you for that, Ash Thrun. Appreciate it. And then we got another one from Ash Thrun, and he is asking. Let me just give him a giggling badger jam because you gave twice. And he is asking
he's not
for
asking
a transcript search Gamergate.
Word. Oh, I see. He is. I thought it was
Word in
just-
transcript, Gamergate. So
Oh,
okay, so here's the
doing.
thing. Richard, you asked me to look up patriarchy. It's
Why don't
not
we
in
finish-
there.
Okay,
It's not
why
in
don't we
there.
finish misogyny though?
I'm gonna. It's patriarchy's not in there, and that actually kind of like it makes sense to me because, like I said, I think that they're trying to rebrand, so they're trying to get away from the buzzwords. I mean, obviously they still use a lot of buzzwords because you kind of have to, but some of the on the nose ones like patriarchy, instead they use misogyny and violent misogyny and radical misogyny. Those are basically patriarchy. It's the same thing, right? But they don't. The word patriarchy does not show up. There was another one that you asked me. I think somebody asked me to look up before. But okay, patriarchy is not in there, unfortunately. Misogyny was, and Gamergate. Let me try that. I don't know. Maybe it is. That would be interesting. No result for Gamergate. What about just gamer? Maybe they spelled it 2 words. Nope. No results for that. But you know what has a lot of entries? You know what has a lot of entries? The word memes. It's in there 20 times. Are you curious? What's the context for this gonna be? What do you think?
We need to finish misogyny. How many more misogynies are
No,
there?
we did it all. There was 3. We
Oh,
went
that
through
was.
them.
Oh, okay. Well, I
Yeah.
guess we somehow, without me noticing, we finished the actual topic of the show. I guess that's it. No.
No, no.
Well, let's look at memes. Let's look at a
Okay,
couple memes.
memes. We're gonna start with a look at memes. All right.
See what they have to say about memes. I'm sure it's going to
Why
be
is it
enlightening.
mentioning memes? That's the question. So let me see. I'll start from here. They're talking about the team from the University of South Carolina. This is 5 minutes in, so it's actually pretty early. 5 minutes and 44 seconds. Let's see. Let's go to like right here.
Carolina uses a novel approach to digital literacy through memes to target the online efforts of violent white supremacists. As we look for ways to harness the power of technology to empower and motivate individuals to prevent targeted violence and terrorism, these teams and all who participate in the fall competition show that through Invent to Prevent, you are finding solutions to support your peers and community while facing a global pandemic and the uncertainty that remote collaboration brings.
Okay, where's the meme
This
stuff?
is like during COVID. So
Okay, so was there a meme there?
yeah, she
That-
said
this is
she-
before men
She said they're
ended
going to
COVID.
use a novel approach to digital literacy through memes to target the online efforts of violent white
Oh,
supremacists.
good lord.
So I mean they include incels in that.
I wish we had some of those memes. We could use a laugh. I'd
know.
imagine that.
You know
I'd imagine-
this is like this kind of like really formal way of discussing memes is so it's so these people, right? Like
what's with the-
we're
okay,
going
what-
to use memes, my friend. Does anyone
with the
have a meme?
raccoon
They're gonna
eyes?
have like the old like Bad Luck Brian and like the
Yeah.
first memes. I found these in the archives. We
Oh,
can
but okay,
make some
couple
statements
comments.
with them. What?
Couple comments. What's with the raccoon eyes? She looks
Oh,
like
I
she's
don't
been
know.
she had a
It's her eyeliner.
she was please help me. Partying.
Partying.
Why was I stuck
Partying
in
hard.
a partering loop? Partering, yeah. I'm stuck in a loop. I'm stuck in a verbal loop, Brian. I'm saying
Yeah.
partering. It looks like she was partying hard. Which is
She,
just
yeah, it seems
at least
that
as
way.
hard as it was for me to say that. God damn.
Do you want to know how they're going to use memes?
Next one.
I am very interested in this early. So, okay, I'll just read a little bit of it and then I'll just jump to that part. So somebody
Okay.
says, I think the presenter, I was particularly impressed with the work the teams have accomplished this semester. Howard University's work on social connectedness and digital literacy are so needed right now, not only because of the threats that HBCUs and others have faced. Middlebury Institute's work addressing incels shows us that we can get help to those who need it before violence happens. Early stage prevention is critical in this threatened environment. And now we're going to get into the memes. So this starts at 5. No, it can't be that. It's got to be got to be like right here. Show me where that is.
Show us the memes.
Show us. Show us where that is. Where is this? Where is this?
I'm bracing for
104.14. Okay. So it's kind of like over here.
Oh, okay. So that. Oh my God! I saw Pepe. I saw Pepe.
Yes, that was a Pepe.
The alt-right like to use memes to spread their propaganda. What it does is give them plausible deniability. If you call them out for being a white supremacist, it's, no, I just like these things, they're funny. How could you say that Moon Man?
So the Moon Man is a hate symbol. It says, Moon Man is a meme derived from a character in 1980s McDonald's restaurant commercials that was appropriated by white supremacists, especially from the alt-right, who attach it to racist songs, language, and imagery. I think Moon Man came out in the 90s actually, or the I think so, because that was when McDonald's had like late night hours. It's Mac Tonight. That was okay. Well, anyway, the way that, you know, when people analyze this stuff in the way that these people do, it just come across as the most humorless people on earth. Like I can't, like, I'm like, oh, you want to watch? Let's watch Kentucky Fried Movie or you know, Airplane. They probably like freak out at the jive talk scene, like completely lose their minds. Like I just can't. I got a super chat from Iggy Thunders. Thank you, Iggy. Gives us $5 and says, things hipsters ruined: beards, denim, vinyl records, coffee, beer, and Western civilization. Thank you. Thank you, Iggy. I have vinyl records still.
I think,
play them.
Do we qualify as alt-right still or something?
Yes, of course. Yes. Well, I don't think that the alt-right gets used as a term anymore, but it doesn't matter. Yeah,
is the trans issue a wedge issue anymore? Because I don't have a problem with trans.
I think now we're on the Israel-Palestine thing, so you're kind of behind, Allison. Yeah.
If you support Israel, you're probably alt-right now, right?
Yes. That's kind of where it sits.
But
that's a tricky area.
That really went around and bit something on the ass there. That doesn't make a hell of a lot of sense. So if you support Israel, you're a Nazi.
Well, right. Ryan.
Just let me laugh at it. Just let me laugh at that. That we're there. What? No. Just let me laugh that we are there. That we.
We are there. Yes, we are there. Okay. Absolutely. I mean, yeah, because all of this stuff is like, you know, the thing that you are looking at is not really the thing. Responding to this thing is not really responding to the thing, because the thing is actually power, money, and revolution. So,
and yet these individuals really struggle with metaphors and literal interpretations of things. And yet,
who does?
Well, I find that people who are, shall we say, I don't even want to use the term woke, morally rigid. And what I mean by that is
people with critical consciousness is what they would describe themselves as.
Morally, what's the right way to say it? It's like, instead of seeing a morality as a manifestation of individuals, they see individual choices. They see morality as a manifestations of categories.
Yeah.
So like it's very moral castes. Moral supporters of moral caste systems, basically.
Sure.
Moral boxing, I don't know. These individuals of moral boxing, they tend to take things very literally, is what I have noticed. Okay, let's keep going though.
All right, let's learn more about the hate symbols.
Or Mac Tonight, who was a McDonald's mascot, has anything to do with neo-Nazis or white supremacists.
Pepe the Frog is a human-like frog character who has gained substantial popularity and become one of the most recognizable figures in the meme world.
Right, Pepe? You know what? We haven't kecked in years, so maybe we can get some top kecks in the chat, but this is how far behind these people are. This is 2021, but we were way past Pepe, like in 2018 or 2019. I think people stopped doing that. I'm not saying that Pepe doesn't still have a place in our hearts, but it's like yeah, I think we're somewhere else now.
The alt-right's use of Pepe just drowned out any other visual interpretation.
This frog is going to represent
Visual
white
interpretation.
supremacy.
Oh,
What?
look, they look at their resource was PBS.
The alt-right
Let me play the
use
yeah,
of
so you
Pepe
can see PBS at the top here.
just drowned out any other visual interpretation.
This frog is going to represent white supremacy.
Now,
Did it
before we
ever
continue,
really though?
huh?
Did it ever really represent white
No,
supremacy?
no, it was just. I think that it was basically just like being a dissident of any kind.
Yeah.
It didn't matter.
Yeah.
Xeranx gave us a super chat. Thank you, Xeranx. And says, remember when CNN created the rarest Pepe to own the deplorables? No. I mean, like, I probably saw it, but
Give us more
Ugh.
information on the rarest Pepe.
yeah.
This is relevant to our interests.
I want to know. Of course. Yeah, of course. Pepe is the easiest, and that's how you know these people don't really like understand this culture. It's just meme culture in general. So, you know, if you go on YouTube, you can find the Generation Alphas. So we're talking about the teenagers coming up right now. Generation Alpha and Zoomers. They like to watch meme videos, and there's like a series of, it's like a trend of meme videos that are recent called politically incorrect memes for, you know, distinguished teens or something like that. And they're all very edgy memes. There's no politics in it. You know, like, but like these people think, oh, well, that, you know, they're like clutching their pearls, like, oh, this is inappropriate. And of course, most of the people who share these memes are boys and men. So I think that's really what it comes back to, in my opinion. You know, it's not that women can't meme, but they're like, men are more likely to meme, I think. So,
Yep.
I mean, if you know
Okay.
any female memers, no, I'm not excluding them. I'm just
Yeah,
saying.
make sure to exclude them. Oh, sorry. I mean, make sure to include them. Damn. My
Okay.
misogyny came out there for a second.
It's okay.
Gotta get that shit in turtle. All right.
Yep. All right, let's play some more of this. So, meme what you mean.
What do a red pill, a McDonald's mascot, and a frog have in common? They're all well-known pop culture references that have been turned into memes. But that's not all. In recent years, they've become associated with white supremacist extremist groups. Memetic content provides these groups with the plausible deniability they need to communicate, organize, and recruit online without violating social media terms and conditions. Vulnerable populations such as middle school students are susceptible to radicalization through memes like these due to a lack of memetic literacy principles. WITS is a media literacy lesson plan package that teaches South Carolina middle schoolers to recognize attempted indoctrination by white supremacist extremists. The package, complete with a customizable slide deck and a social media simulation game, enhances students' understanding of meme history, memetic subtext, and social media algorithms.
So
Mimetic
we're going
subtext.
to what?
Mimetic subtext.
Yeah, mimetic subtext. Yes.
You're gonna
Um,
explain to teenagers how a funny cartoon frog is gonna turn them into Nazis. But you know,
Yep.
not the Nazis that support that don't support Israel. Like, wait. No, let me get the politics crate.
Dude, I don't know.
I don't know.
That's
Like,
that's
it's a
they're in a pickle.
have you noticed like this politics is starting to become terminal? It just doesn't make sense anymore. Like no sense.
That's where it's gonna go. It's gonna go up its own asshole and disappear. Hopefully.
Yeah.
I saw like a really funny, and this
Yeah,
is gonna
maybe
sound
taking our
crazy,
civilization with it. Go ahead.
but I saw a really funny clip from Saturday Night Live, believe it or not, where they have like this thing called Last Week Tonight. It's like their fake news segment that they used to, Norm Macdonald used to be on it. It was hilarious stuff. Gilda Radner would come out as Rosanna Dana. Anyway, but now they have these two new guys, obviously, and they did a segment where it was a black guy and a white guy. I can't remember their names, but what they write jokes for the other guy to read as false headlines, or they take a real thing and they make it funny. That's usually what these news things are. Before Jon Stewart ruined it, but And the one guy, the black guy, was talking about Israel Palestine, and he said something that I thought was really funny, and it was intended to try to offend as many people as possible, right? And he said something like, this is creating some serious tensions in the Middle East, and we don't know, how things are going to pan out, and I only hope that for the best for the Muslims and Jews, but y'all need Jesus. I thought that was pretty funny, because of course neither of them like Jesus very much. So, but anyway, did I get any more? I know that Allison's fighting people on Twitter right now still.
Well, someone just called me. She said that it's good that we're being targeted by Homeland Security because we're a hate group. We hate women and we hate non-white people, Brian.
Well, of course. Yeah.
Yes. Well, you in particular hate non-white people.
Of course I do. I can't stand myself.
And I totally hate women.
The thing is not actually about the thing.
Yeah, exactly.
It's not.
Let's continue.
I don't know why people don't see this, but okay. But anyway, do we have to do any thank yous before I play more of this cringe?
Shoot, I haven't even checked.
I know you haven't looked. I know it's been a while.
Yeah, I'm sure you've known what I've been doing.
Yep.
Okay. Well, just while I'm looking. While I'm looking, if you do want to help the show, it is at feedthebadger.com/support. Maybe someone out there, if you're thinking of making sure we can continue to do this, even despite being targeted by the alphabet agencies of the U.S. government, why are you wasting money on us? I mean, good Lord. But anyway, go to feedthebadger.com/support and help us. I mean, you guys, I understand why you'd want to waste money on us. Geez, that was poorly timed, wasn't it?
No. They want to
okay.
use money. They want to waste our money to get in our way. It's different.
Yeah.
They're not, we're asking you to give. So.
Yeah, make sure that we can continue to
help
do this.
us.
Feedthebadger.com/support. If there's anybody out there, just throw in $5 so that we know that we've done something tonight. $5, $50, whatever. Just help us out. Feedthebadger.com/support. And let's I guess
all right. So nothing went through yet? Okay.
No, I don't think so. No, I think these are all accounted for as super chows.
All right, sounds good.
And if you want to send us a message, feedthebadger.com/justthetip. I'm just doing the message shill.
Yeah.
So feedthebadger.com/justthetip. Okay.
All right.
Let's do this.
So anyway, let's play more.
Traditionally, propaganda has been associated with politicized tabloids and pamphlets, but in our new digital age, propaganda has been developing and spreading faster than ever. Research has shown that extremist groups target kids as young as 12 to 14 years old on social media platforms, a whole new population that probably wouldn't have been interacting.
Do you mean that they target kids or kids sort of enjoy Pepe memes?
No,
have they really been
They
successful?
are clearly using propaganda. We are just telling the truth. That's what they're saying.
Yeah, but here's
It's
the thing.
not propaganda when we do it.
But what my point is are these are 12-year-olds being targeted with Pepe memes, or 12-year-olds
Yes,
just
they
enjoy
are.
Pepe memes? Like
Yes, when they don't, there are no accidents. They find the Pepe memes, and next thing you know, they're burning crosses on their lawn. It's just where it goes. Don't ask me how we know, but we know because we're academics, and that means we're smarter than you and we're more moral than you.
And we don't actually have to follow any kind of rigorous scientific
and we don't have
protocol.
to deal with any of the potential consequences for the shit that we're doing.
Okay.
If we drive men to delete themselves, that was men's fault. Toxic masculinity. I didn't do it.
Did their war on Pepe ever succeed? Because I see that a lot of forums still use Pepes.
They can't win. Pepe can't nature finds a way. The frogs, they'll just change gender in a same-sex environment.
Pepe finds a way. Oh, good grief. Okay, let's finish this.
All right, let's play some more.
Institutions internationally have begun to realize that social media fosters this new digital hybrid threat. And in order to solve a new problem, you're going to need a new proactive solution.
I just
Jesus Christ.
I just like this woman is like General Patton with memes. Like she thinks that we are really going to war. Do you see how like passively this stuff is not absorbed per se, but like received and shared around? Like she's like, here's how we're gonna do this. I don't know. It's kind of scary, honestly. It's kind of scary, like how much they want to get in the heads of young men to make sure they don't do something that they're absolutely positive they're going to do if they're not monitored.
Recognize that they're wrong. Honestly,
yes,
that's it. Like you can talk about, oh, we want to stop the violence. Well, what violence? There's almost none. Most of the violence is suicide. What you really want to stop is the idea that these young men will figure out that you're wrong.
Yep.
Okay.
All right, let's play some more. I did get another super chow from Zeranx, and he says for $5, YouTube was censoring my messages. CNN made the clan Pepe. Oh, they did? Wow, very clever, CNN. Super clever. Very original idea. You made him into. Why didn't you give him a little mustache instead? I mean, that's really, really original.
Yeah, so if there's not enough association between white supremacy and Pepe, CNN will make it because apparently they hate Pepe. That's how it works. Like that's what they do. They call something white supremacy if they hate it. Why does
do you know that they originally confronted the artist that created Pepe once, and they said they're using your cartoon character for these racist and sexist memes. What do you have to say for yourself? And he was like, I don't approve of that. Like whatever, right?
Yeah.
It's so weird how they work. You know, it's so weird.
Yeah,
everything has to be top down.
But the thing is that what I'm saying is they have gone to war against Pepe. Like they don't actually. I'm pretty sure they don't genuinely believe that Pepe is white supremacist. They're using the allegations of white supremacists to destroy the cartoon frog. Now, my question is why? Why do they hate this cartoon frog so much? Like, why?
Because
is it because it's a source of information or exchange of information that they simply don't control? I think that's more likely, actually. They are at war with the idea of viral information, like the distribution of information that they don't control. I think that's what it really is.
Yeah, that's what it is.
And they're trying to figure out how to destroy it.
They're jelly because they can't meme.
Yeah.
So
it just comes down to that.
Yeah, they're peanut butter and jealous. Because they cannot meme. I mean, and so that's why but you can tell they can't by the way they're talking about it. Like, here's how a meme is constructed. And they're like laying it all out in like a really, really on the spectrum kind of way. And it's like, no, even the Spurgs that laugh at the memes can see that there's just humor and they just enjoy it. Like, you guys are like trying to, like, you think there's some kind of special hidden formula, the golden ratio, and if you like get it just right, people are just going to be entranced and propagandized.
Well, then
that's why they're accusing everyone else of doing propaganda while they're actually doing propaganda.
That's why they're trying to control it. They do not understand the distribution system. They're looking at it. They're like apes that don't understand trucking the bananas.
Play the 2001 A Space Odyssey music over them looking at the memes and jumping on the computer and, you know, hooting and hollering. See, now that's a meme. Okay, I guess we'll play some more section.
After extensive interviews with subject matter experts in memetic literacy, social media, and research, and a focus group with South Carolina teachers and faculty, we found our primary and secondary target audiences.
Are you
South Carolina English teachers who are responsible for teaching media literacy to middle schoolers across the state and their students, particularly those in areas where white supremacy or white supremacist sympathies may be common. For a better visualization of our target audiences, we'd like you to meet a few of our audience personas.
So they've created audience personas. I don't think these are real people. I think they're like archetypes or templates or something that represent. I think so, but let me just go back here.
No, yeah, this is something that you see with They're creating use cases, which means just people who will be using their product.
Examples of people.
So what they want to
Right.
do is they want to defeat the meme culture, which is essentially what they hate about it. Is it's a way of distributing information that they don't control. So they don't understand why this is going everywhere and people are looking at it and exchanging it. It's very suspicious because it's something that they don't control, and they're fascists. Let's be frank. And
Absolutely.
and like that they want to combat it by using what they do control, which is the educational system, because they're the underdogs. That's why they control every institutional means of distributing information, because they're the underdogs. Good grief. Okay, let's keep
So
going.
let's look at like some of the things that they're expecting, I guess. So some of their use cases.
Yeah, this is just generic
I'm Rick
teacher
Thompson,
number
a
one. Let's not even.
57-year-old going into my 35th year of teaching 6th grade English.
Oh, good
I
Lord.
don't
We
really
don't
like
have to listen to all this, do we?
What? Can you not hear it?
No, I can hear it. I just don't want to listen to it. Is there a way to just move it forward like a little bit?
Oh, you don't want to listen to this?
Yeah, because it's just this is actually really low effort when it comes to a use case.
Amelia Hamilton. Okay. So I can jump. You want me to pass all these profiles?
These are
then?
all just people they made up who are going to use their
Yes,
crap.
they're people they made up. They basically give you a peek into what they think human beings are like. It's like
Yeah, and they're
it's
so
like-
generic. They're so generic.
Yeah.
Okay.
There's a couple more. There's like this kid is gonna be a school shooter. Jack Rutherford, white blue collar family, 13.
this is
he
this
likes
is
to
the
hunt.
kid-
He goes hunting. He wants a
This is
hunting
the
rifle.
potential racist. By the way, lady, if you made this public and this is a clip of a kid, you are a horrible freaking person. Like if this is clip art of a kid, do you have permission to use clip art of a kid in a way that could reflect badly on the kid? Because you need to read your license. You're not allowed to do that with clip art of people, much less a child. You disgusting human beings. Like I know that people are gonna be like, "Oh my God, no, this is morally wrong. You are now implicating that this kid is a racist." Did you think about that? And you're not supposed to be able to do that with clip art, because if you read the licenses, they say that.
Oh, really?
Yeah, the depiction of people in clip art, you're not supposed to use it in a way that will reflect badly on the person in the art, in the photograph. What do you think calling this so-called Jack Rutherford a potential racist is going to do? You just put a kid in harm's way with your crap. Okay, anybody who's watching this kid is obviously from a clip art. This isn't an actual kid.
Not a real kid.
Not a real kid who has any kind of opinion that's going to result in him being a horrible person. Okay. Good Lord. Okay, let's keep going.
All right, and let me see. I think the first guy was also like a danger scenario. Then we got Ann Bisher. Yeah. So those are the okay. Let me just keep going. Let's see what else we got.
This is another one that's prone to formally. Okay, so this one has to, like, these are the faces of their evil. Is it? Oh, good grief.
Yeah. We're 1 hour and 9 minutes. So I'm just gonna jump ahead a little bit.
Is there another case study with a kid?
No, I think those are it. There was like 4. There's an older man, an older woman, a younger boy, and a younger girl.
Oh, okay.
So, all right, now they have the social media simulation game. So they created an online game for students to play in order to test their comprehension of the information given in the slide deck. So this is like their way of using this. Is going to be used on kids. So at least that's their plan.
We created an online game for students to play in order to test their comprehension of the information given in the slide deck. This game was created on Google Forms and is housed on our website and Linktree. It features.
Oh my
freaking! Change doesn't exist. Who made that? And but like, so they're basically finding memes, and then they're finding out whether these kids like it or dislike it, and then based on that, I guess they can determine whether they're going to be school shooters or terrorists or something.
There's pre-selected memes ranging from harmless to gray area content that could negatively
Government, why do I hear ukuleles playing at the Capitol? 57 Penguin Platoon. What? I don't even get that.
No,
These
I don't.
Did they make these? Because they're not great.
affect students' recommended content. In order to play, students had to enter their initials, grade level, and type of school.
When it's luau time and your girl has done God knows what with your Hawaiian shirt. Luau out time. I don't
Attended,
yeah,
whether it was
I don't get
public,
it.
private, or charter.
Those are like
And for their
weirdly
privacy,
specific
there was no
context,
personally
too.
identifying information
stop.
gathered.
Oh wait, go back. What are they
I'm
doing?
gonna go back. I'm gonna go back.
I don't remember the name of that
Selected memes
character.
ranging from harmless
Yeah, I
to
don't
gray
know that
area
one either.
content
I'm
that
just
could
gonna wait
negatively
until it
affect students'
plays
recommended
to
content.
Okay,
not
all right.
In
pause
order
it,
to
'cause
play,
it's a
students had
long-
to
they made
enter
a
their
long-ass
initials,
video.
grade level, and type of school
Oh,
they attended,
Jesus,
whether
did
it
they
was
ever?
public, private, or charter.
Okay,
And for
stop
their
it now.
privacy, there was no personally.
There it is.
Okay. When it's the dead of the night and you hear someone scream "Yeehaw" and break the law, and you can smell the cornbread getting closer.
Oh, brother. Are you supposed to, is it? Oh, man. I don't even know what that means. Like, I mean, I kind of get an
I
idea,
imagine
but
that it's the corn. Maybe the cornbread intends to imply a racial element.
I would assume so.
But I'm pretty sure the
yeehaw and break the
cornbread
law,
is
like that sounds like
a
I
redneck.
don't know, a white man, like what they would presume a southern white guy would be.
Yeah. So a yeehaw and break the law sounds like a redneck, and which is actually emphasized with the cornbread, because I didn't think that cornbread was uniquely a black thing. I think it's a southern thing.
Definitely a southern thing. Most things that people think of that are black things are actually just southern things.
Yeah. Well, I mean, that's how
Yeah.
it really works. You see, all the things that are black are actually the things that white upper class liberals like.
Yeah.
And all of the things that are white are the things that lower class, working class people like. Because
Yeah.
they're bad. Because, whiteness is badness and blackness is goodness. And the upper class, the upper class that are basically just a bunch of courtiers justifying the power of the elites. They want to be good, so the things that they like are not white.
Yeah, of course.
Because it's a
Of
moral
course.
caste system, not actually based on people's actions, but just what
Mhm.
group they belong to. Anyway, let's keep going. This is
All right.
this is a very confusing meme.
I don't get it. And again, it's like weird. I don't know.
And how are you
identifying
supposed to say
information
like or
gathered.
dislike? Like these are cringe.
I know. I don't like any of them. I probably
Yeah.
dislike them all.
Yeah, but
After-
Meme literacy day. We're gonna learn how to read memes, guys.
Is this
They
a
know
real
the
thing?
secret. They know how to get behind it. They can see all of the Luciferian symbols, like the
Are we supposed to be
triangles.
celebrating meme literacy day in November?
Yeah.
Why is it
I
November?
didn't know that.
Like, they're
I think
packing November.
Is November
for men.
22nd meme day? I didn't know there was a meme day. Is that what
Wait,
this
what's-
is?
What's Men's Day in Men's?
19th, November 19th is Men's Day, I'm pretty sure.
I mean, that was this year. Yeah, so Saturday, November 19th, 2022. That was in 2022. What was it in 21? Sorry.
And would have been Friday, I think. Usually things are like off by like
it's
a
always
day.
November 19th. That's
Yeah, it's always
interesting that
November
Meme
19th.
Day is 3 days after Men's Day.
Well, yeah, why not?
Why
We should
not?
make Men's Day into Meme Day. Everybody else wants Men's Day.
Yeah. Okay, let's keep going.
All right, let's keep going.
Presenting this game to students in the school, we decided to begin a meme literacy day to encourage teachers to download the lesson plan. We incentivize teachers to use the WITS lesson plan package by entering them into a raffle for an Amazon gift card, free meme what you mean, classroom posters, t-shirts, and stickers.
They're like bribing kids with this stuff and teachers.
I'm pretty sure that no kid wants that shit.
Right, I know. I don't a meme t-shirt. That's
That's
super
the
cringe.
ugliest goddamn clip art crap on it. Like, look at the freaking t-shirt. It's
Let me
fucking
go back.
ugly.
Let me go back.
This
I
is
wish I could
what's
go back
truly
and look back.
offensive about all of this. Is
Mean what you want to mean.
Oh,
Mean
and
what
they've
you
got a-
want to mean.
they've got a
I like how they just put like what are the memes? What are the memes? Here's Drake and like the Pepe and the Amogas and
look at
the
it in the
robot guy
left
behind
corner.
like sitting at the desk and the Doge. And I don't even know what that is down there. These are like the most basic. Kids like that stuff, right? And like this, like a purple shirt with a lightning bolt meme. What you mean?
Yeah,
Who
like,
wants that?
seriously, yeah, who wants that? That is really terrible design. Like, what the most offensive thing about this entire video is that T-shirt.
Yeah.
Who the hell designed it? Like I got the use case for the designer. A
This looks
41-year-old feminist educator named Abigail.
What's with the paint splotches on this? What is that? A poster? Is that a poster?
Oh, good Lord. This is terrible design.
Hello, fellow kids.
All right.
That's all this is.
What's the next?
See, there's the meme they should have put in there.
Yeah.
What?
Where's the next instance of the word meme? Where have they blasphemed the word meme?
The next instance. Let me see. Context.
Oh, I'm sorry.
So there's more of this game. There's more of this game. So let's play more of it. There's
T-shirts
coming up.
and stickers. We also plan for a spring
hell
meme
wants any
literacy
of that
day to
crap?
provide an opportunity for teachers to support meme literacy beyond the fall semester.
So they want teachers to get involved with memes. That's what they want to do. So they are coming for the kids because the kids are vulnerable to this stuff, and they're going to use
the whole meme war has taken a back seat to trying to convince kids that they're actually the opposite gender or sex.
But that's because they can't. They're trying to use memes to do that, but they're terrible. So, you know, they just like have queer kid stuff, play a ukulele in front of everybody, or whatever. But like, I think that people with a sense of humor, I think children are better about this than adults generally. They're going to look for stuff that's fun. They're not thinking about like, I don't know, shooting up a school or dangerous misogyny or any of this crap. And so they're like, well, how do we get them thinking about it? How do we start the programming? And I think that's what this is. They're getting the
kids
teachers.
are too innocent. Like, well, how do we rip that away?
Yeah,
from
they are.
them
They're
and
too
force
innocent.
them to ingest our adult concerns and take responsibility for adult things. Yeah, but you know the other thing, meme what you mean. So make memes literal.
Why does this lightning bolt look like the SS symbol a little bit on the shirt?
Do you
Is
have
that on
to
purpose?
ask?
Let me see. Can I go back a teeny bit?
What the
Incentivize teachers
Nazis'
to use the
greatest
lesson plan
trick is
package by
to pretend to be
entering them into a raffle for an Amazon gift card, free
Right.
meme,
I wanna look at
what you
this.
mean, classroom posters, t-shirts.
Oh yeah, if you drew two of those, right?
They have drawn two. Actually, look
They
at
kind of did, yeah. But
seriously, did you? Okay.
you guys don't. You see, this is how you know they don't know what they're doing.
Yeah,
They're
but, like,
playing with.
seriously-
They're playing with forces that they have no understanding of.
Yeah. Do you have to draw? Yeah, there would just be two of them. Yeah, you just have to put another one there because it just looks like a one SS symbol with a.
I don't think that
shadow
the
cast.
SS symbol actually tapers, but it doesn't matter. Like
Yeah, but it just looks like it's like stylistic. It's got a shadow cast. It's like
Uh-huh.
vaporware. You know.
This is so lame. It doesn't
Yeah,
even look
it
like vaporware. It looks lazy as shit. Like, isn't that just like italicized impact or something? Like the lettering.
Yes.
Like,
Yes, they can't even bother to get some get an artist to create some lettering.
Mm-hmm.
Or just create a lettering that works with the non-icon that you've chosen. It's just weak sauce. This is terrible. This is truly offensive to me as an artist. I just have to say, like, this really pisses me off.
Yeah, it is.
Good
Yeah,
Lord.
it's pretty cringe.
Lord.
Okay, let's do some more of
Literacy
this.
Day information. Our website includes external links to all our social media.
God, I think we found the
platforms,
one
and
that's
about
just
section
that's
and
just
classroom materials page that includes direct.
playing
She
along.
sounds exhausted,
Yeah, I think this is the one that's just playing along. She's just like, I just want to
phoning it in. I just want to give me my grade.
Give me my grade. I want to go back to
I'm
the
not trying to win
dorm,
this.
smoke dope, and get laid.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay.
Downloads links to the lesson plan, customizable slide deck, and social media algorithm simulation game. We also have helpful links and a meme news section. For digital media, we engage with our primary target audience through email marketing on MailChimp and social media
I
marketing
can
on
feel
Facebook,
her
LinkedIn,
desire
and
not to be
Yeah,
there.
she's just reading from her thing. She probably didn't even write it. She got her friend do it, or some guy, some like orbiter. She was like, "Could you write my paper for me? I'm just gonna read it. I don't even want to do this. I don't care."
Yeah, and ironically, that actually makes her more sympathetic. She's
I
just like,
know,
I don't
I
want to
know.
touch this shit. All right, let's keep going.
Okay.
Pinterest. Our digital media efforts were intended to drive traffic to our website and increase downloads of our lesson plan package. We conducted a MailChimp email marketing campaign targeting South Carolina middle school ELA teachers and administrators, created Facebook, LinkedIn, and Pinterest pages to target South Carolina
Oh
teachers
God,
and
the
districts that
soulless
we could not
corporate
reach
art.
through our email campaign.
Yeah, I know, it's terrible. All right, let me go to the next one.
And
'cause
also, I
I'm
hate
not-
to say it, but their
feel like I'm getting
presentation
anything out of it.
abilities really aren't on par with what you'd expect. I think these are like post grads.
They should be, I think. Yeah.
Yeah, this looks
Education
like it's a.
has fallen.
This
in-
looks like this is like the presentation skills of like maybe a sixth grader.
Yeah, I was gonna say a middle schooler, maybe.
Yeah, like this is, you should be better at this by now. I have freaking social anxiety and I was better at it.
Yep.
Okay.
Let me see. Let me go to the next example here. Let me see. I'm just looking here. Algorithm, source memes. I guess let's see. Let's go here. What's this at? 117.28. Okay, get ready for crazy ass Asian lady. Here we go.
Around reactions, do you ask students to take any action if
Wait,
they see
is this an
that
actual
inappropriate?
person?
And
Yeah, so she's like a
She
snake
looks
woman.
like no, but she looks like a freaking face mask. The way that she's
Yeah.
moving, she looks
Yeah,
like
one of
like
those
a
one of
rig.
those Japanese ghosts.
No, but she looks like she's a rig, like a rigged face. Like, look at the way she's moving. It's just
Yeah.
freaking bizarre.
Oh yeah, right. There might be some filters. She's blurred her background, so
Okay, keep going. Maybe I'm wrong.
Okay.
Like, I don't know.
the reporting side of that,
Yeah, look at the
or
way she's
purely
moving.
just identify the cultural history.
Maybe it's
More
No,
time
I
and
just think,
funding.
what the
I just
fuck
think
just
she's
happened there?
I just think she's
There was a
weird
moment
looking-
where I think she was like, her consciousness was re-uploaded into the mothership. Look at the end. No, look at the end. Look at the end.
Okay.
That is inappropriate, and the reporting side of that, or purely just identify the cultural history.
So with more time and funding, we would have liked to develop our game into a native.
That's mean. Let's not be mean.
No, is that really mean?
I
though?
can't
Like,
help what I look like. What?
no, I know. It's not what she looks like. It's just like that moment. Like she just that weird.
Yeah, I know her eyes. They were like
Her eyes started to roll into the back of her head. I'm actually started to feel worried for her. Is she like having a
Did you
no
get the
cause
jab?
twitch?
Did she get the jab? No.
No, but we can't say that. Was
I
she
just did
having
the
a
jab. You don't know what
situa-
that means. It could be boxing.
Okay, yeah. Was she did she have a couple too many lefts in her in
Yeah.
her boxing round that she obviously did?
To take too many hits, right?
Yeah, she took too many hits of something. No, I'm just saying, like, that was just a little creepy. It wasn't, I'm not casting aspersions on her as a person. I'm just saying that moment captured on camera
No, I know. Yeah,
just-
I know.
is a little bit disturbing.
People make weird faces sometimes.
I'm like, is someone giving her a glass of water and maybe putting her head between her knees? 'Cause it looks like she's about to pass out. Maybe she has really severe social anxiety. I mean, this is not a very.
right.
Okay, let's keep going.
Let's listen to Mary Jane from Spider-Man 2, the video game. Here.
Web app, which would allow us to create an algorithm to source
everyone
memes
is
that
so
are
low
actually on
energy.
social media that we can use in our game, obviously with moderators and whatnot, to make sure that what we're showing isn't too violent. But that would be the goal in order to keep our bank of memes relevant. As far as student reactions, they didn't really understand how they're supposed to report. So in the
Gotta keep our bank of memes relevant.
Oh my freaking god!
You see what I'm saying? Like hearing these people talk about this stuff in such a monotone way. It's like,
We
I
gotta
know,
keep
you know
our
what?
bank of
I
memes
swear I've seen
relevant.
it before, like on
We
other,
gotta
like in a
invest our
movie or
memes
something.
wisely, you know?
A bank of memes, our meme
Yeah,
banks.
we need
We're going to
make
have to
sure that
consult. Can someone please get form number MEM3779
relevant.
0
Oh
and
God, because bureaucracy
subcategory
screams relevance.
X for this meme. Retrieve it now. What do you think of the meme? The meme is pretty funny.
The meme is old, but it checks out.
Yeah, it's an older meme, sir, but it checks out.
Oh, good Lord.
Oh man. It's so fun. If the humorless are some of the funniest, I swear.
Yeah, well, you know, the world needed a straight man. You know, there wasn't the
Yeah.
straight men. These aren't the straight men we asked for, but they were the ones we needed. Oh.
This meme is dank. Please rate it on a scale of cringe to dank. Okay, anyway. My reaction to
Dank
this information.
detected.
I know, they're just robots.
God damn.
Okay, let's keep going.
Let's go.
Since we couldn't actually put that into a Google form to have them put a comment, I would like to report this. In the future, if we had that as an option, we would expand our curriculum to explain how students can take action. At this point in the game, it was more for awareness.
All right, let's go to another mention. I think there's another one right.
Do these mentions eventually end? How many more mentions do we have?
There's only a few left. I'm just
Okay.
Let me see. Let's get back to librarian problem glasses lady here.
Oh, is she do some more meme stuff?
120.
Do they have like some sort of framework to discuss the relevancy of memes? Like, do they?
I think that they're just. So there's I didn't play those parts, but there's a lot of like, to be serious, they're saying that essentially their resources are experts in the material of internet, discourse. So we can't prove that they're like at all qualified. They might just be people who are on the internet a lot or think that they're on the internet a lot and that they're like an expert on what a meme that could lead to, whatever terrible, dangerous, violent thing that they're expecting, misogyny, whatever, or if they're completely harmless. I would imagine the memes that they would deem to be the safest are the ones that are not at all like viral worthy, not funny, nothing. They're basically blocks of text. Those are the memes that they like. Giant walls of text. So if it's a giant wall of text, they're probably okay with it as long as it explains oppression dynamics or something. So
okay, well, I'm just saying, like, how do you determine the relevancy of a meme? I mean, if you have to determine it, isn't it probably lost its relevancy?
Yeah, right.
And the other thing is that it sounds like they're just sucking.
They're talking about
the work
memes
of
the
other
way
people.
some people explain jokes. You just shouldn't do it.
They're talking about, well, the thing is that it sounds like they're not making their own memes. They're just appropriating the meme culture for themselves. Okay, let's keep going.
All right, let's do a little more.
Aaron,
finish
please.
this off.
Great. Yeah, thank you so much for that. And as someone that spends a lot of time on
Xenia
neo-Nazi
Onatopp from,
websites and forums, I can
007
tell you I
GoldenEye.
recognize a lot of those memes, and it's definitely an issue, especially when it's related to kind of pop culture and subcultures. And the whole point of memification is to make things easy, trendy, and consumable. I did want to ask you a little bit about, one is how you're trying to target quote unquote algorithms. Obviously, this is a very big topic. It's mentioned all the time on the news, but algorithm can mean anything. Algorithm is any input with an output online. I think you're meaning rabbit holes or echo chambers when one piece of content leads you to more trending content. So in that respect—
Wait. Are you saying that the incels and the red pill of the manosphere are dangerous because they live in echo chambers?
Okay, and this is from someone.
Liar!
This is from someone who has a belief system. Okay, they say it's scientific, which means that it is making it's presenting facts about reality. It's essentially saying X is correlated to Y, and that has been proven allegedly. So feminism takes the patina, the moral authority, or at least the logical, I don't know, the reason authority of a academic endeavor, and yet it never even states a freaking hypothesis. Like, what's the essential feminist hypothesis? They don't state it. They just say, oh, there are many feminisms. Well, that isn't science.
No.
And if it's not science, you're not making statements about reality. Right? If you are going to say that you are making a statement about reality, then your statement, your conjecture needs to be, well, clearly stated, first of all, which we don't even get with the entirety of feminist, whatever it is. Okay, at least the academic end of feminism. Let's take away the political and the quote unquote ideological and just look at the academic. They don't even state a clear hypothesis. I mean, I can make an assumption. I shouldn't have to make an assumption. I shouldn't have to assume that this is the hypothesis that feminists are working under. Right? They should have it right out there. And they should say, this is what our statement is, and we have attempted to falsify it. They haven't done that. And they haven't done that because what they believe has nothing to do with reality. They're manufacturing a reality, and then they have the audacity to turn around and say, oh, these are echo chambers and rabbit holes. You know what? If you weren't an echo chamber and a rabbit hole, you wouldn't be afraid of discourse. And you wouldn't be afraid of being proven wrong. All right.
All right. A little bit more, and then we'll stop it.
Sure. Well, I mean,
Okay.
how many more instances of the word meme are there?
There's a couple more, like 4 more, I think. So I'll play more of this.
Maybe just a little bit more about how you were training around. Is it just awareness that content can go down a spiraling? A lot of this content also gets shared very holistically, not because of algorithms, but because friends share it among networks. And so maybe how you were approaching that. And then as a slight follow-up, I think Clara
They want to
had asked,
control
but
the
maybe just
cartoon
to
frog.
What?
They want to control the cartoon frog because they do not understand the distribution method.
Yes. Yes, they want to control the frog.
to repeat to get some clarity on how do you keep the resources up to date? Because in the memeified world and in these subcultures, adversarial shifts are really fast. So sometimes a character comes up or the lingo or phrases or subculture language changes very quickly. And how would you keep this updated, especially knowing that sometimes school districts don't update as
Can I
quickly
honestly
as
say
trends do
something
in the adversarial
about her?
online space?
I will give her one thing. She actually knows how to present. She's at least engaging to listen to.
Yeah. Yeah.
Let's keep going.
Okay. I think she's going to answer
I
the
disagree with her
question.
absolutely, but she's at least engaging.
Mm-hmm.
And she doesn't appear to be passing out on camera.
That's true. She's not a student, I think. She's like
Our goal would be to work with a developer who could help us simulate a social media algorithm that would typically still be with an if-then model. But as far as right now, we were trying to focus students on being aware, because since so many of them in middle school are just getting on platforms,
Oh,
many of
good
them
Lord.
didn't know
This
that
is
things like their
such
TikTok For You
bullshit.
page depended specifically on
Yep.
what they interacted with or what they viewed multiple times. So
All
we
of these
wanted to make
people are
them
going to
aware that
leave
how they
college with a
interact with content
gigantic
or
debt
don't
load.
interact with content.
And they're going to
What?
have done this. Well, maybe they'll get a job doing this in a corporate setting.
Yep. Oh yeah. Somebody's mentioned that there haven't been any men talking. There are some men in this video, but it's mostly women. I think the guy running the thing is a man. The guy who's like, he's like a dean or something, I guess. I don't really know. He might be the Fed that's setting this whole thing up. I don't know. But yeah, it is mostly women, because that's kind of how it always shakes out, isn't it? So, let's see.
Will affect what they see in the future.
I see Clara has her hand up. Clara?
That's the
I
guy
don't.
who-
I think that was previously. Let me lower it.
But maybe
Okay,
also
let's
to
get
that
to
point
the
that we
last.
both
Is
raised-
there any? How many more? How
Yeah,
many
there
more
is.
meme
There is.
mentions?
There's the next bit right here. Hold on, hold up. 122.
I just want to do completion because I'm an autist.
Yeah,
And-
we should. That's fine. We're almost at the end.
We'd like to work with a web developer who could simulate an algorithm and then pull from what's already on social media. So particularly with things like Twitter, where things evolve very rapidly, we'd like to create something that would be able to pull memes from a bank, similar to the website knowyourmeme.com. They pull in memes that are relevant, and then they ask users to comment on what their purposes are. So it could be possible for us to pull from something like that, so that we would be
Know
able
your
to continuously
meme?
update a bank.
Yeah, it's a
Know your
website.
meme?
If you wanna know, if you see a meme, you can like search for it on Know Your Meme, and they'll give you the backstory of it and everything. Know Your Meme is a good. It's doing God's work on the internet. It's helpful. You know, if you see something, you're like, I don't get that. You can go to Know Your Meme, and I think, I mean, I don't know, I don't go there all the time, but it's saved my ass a couple of times. I'm like, well, I'm so behind on this. I need to look this meme up. Sure enough, it's usually there. It's like
Okay.
Wikipedia, but it's better because it's not Wikipedia.
You know what else it is? This meme culture gives authority to someone other than them as well.
Yes, of course.
So it's a
Yeah, they want to control
distribution
this
method-
conversation.
a distribution method that they don't control, and it grants authority to people that they haven't anointed.
Mhm.
And the way that they're going about this is so draconian. It's hilarious.
Yeah, it's because they're afraid. Because I think that they think of memes. In a way, it's true. Memes are like ideas spoken very quickly and efficiently. It's almost, you could say, a secret language. And of course, they would see it as more like a dog whistle for something terrible, but it's not that. It's like a shared, like we see a meme and we all have like a shared idea of what it means, you know, like, and we find it funny. Like the Mr. Frog, gentlemen, it is with great sadness to inform you that women, right? and you're
I don't know why that's
you're just
endlessly
supposed to
funny,
laugh
man.
at it and move on because but the reason why it works is because everyone relates, or at least people with a sense of humor do, you know. So and you know, and not all I think that another thing about memes too is that they're kind of merit based. Like everyone tries to make them, but not all of them make it, you know, like to the top, right? They have to be the funniest one that has the quickest, you know, and the most reusable. Remember when the Winter is Coming meme was out? And I mean, it was used for everything because Game of Thrones was on TV and people were, you know, like it was like the first season. But after like a year or 2 years, people were done with that one. Like they were making, you know, Winter is Coming memes for the Winter is Coming meme. Like it was memeing itself. And then you knew it was on its way out. It's like, okay, nobody's going to do this anymore. So I don't know if the people will get that. It's just, it's something wrong with it. Like sometimes it's good to look at the classics, you know, look back at the classics, but then you move on, right?
Yeah.
So
yeah.
Anyway, a little bit more.
Bank of memes that the game could pull from, making
The
it
bank
a
of
different
memes?
play
Oh,
every time that you play.
Bank. No, she didn't do the obvious, which would have made it so
No,
much
I think
better.
they literally think it's a bank, like they're putting stuff in it and they're saving
Yeah,
it for a rainy
but
day.
you said the dank of memes.
I said that, yes. I don't know why you wouldn't call it that. I mean,
Oh man. Okay.
that's a missed opportunity, in my opinion.
Oh, it definitely is.
Yeah.
Judges, we have 3 minutes left. Any other questions?
Oh, good Lord.
I can jump in with one more. Have you guys thought about, instead of just curriculum for students, but training teachers to also submit their questions when they're going through the teaching process? And also not just memes being one way from you guys downstream, but also in reverse, students
There's
have questions.
something really
or
uncanny
they're
valley.
confused about a meme. Is there a space where they can inquire? Get more questions, get more answers.
That she looks like one of the androids from Detroit Become Human. That's what like. If you've ever played that game, it's like the same clothes too, I think.
Yeah, and there are people going to call us a racist, but it's not.
No, Detroit Become Human. The androids were all the different kinds. I mean, they were all robots, so it didn't really matter what their race on the surface looked like. But yeah, I'm not. I don't think it's racist.
That kind of inquiry, because sometimes there are memes that are not obvious. There might be inside jokes that are not obvious.
All right, we're getting to the end of this.
Definitely through the website and
What?
Okay, are they going to say the word memes soon?
Yeah, they are. Yeah.
Okay.
with more funding, we did have a section of WITS dedicated to more research and kind of higher levels of written articles about digital propaganda and how memes play, memes role in the violence. So with further funding, we would hopefully have more contact information. We could sustain this. We could have HR people emailing back. So we would definitely be open to that communication in the future, along with updating the website more with further information and resources.
Oh, good Lord. This is just painful.
Oh, I know.
Yeah, let's just leave it there, because it's like they don't understand any of this.
No.
They really want to.
No, they're very on the outside, right?
They don't care to understand it, right? They just don't like that somebody has an authority that they don't anoint and has a way of distributing stuff that they don't control. It's as simple as that.
It is.
Now,
yeah,
I propose we do something completely different. And I have sent you a link, unless you want to.
Oh, you sent me a link?
Yes, I sent you a link. I mean, if you want to make some final statements, like
Is it this Reddit thing? Okay.
Yes.
Let me put this up on the screen here.
Yeah, let's just do something
And
completely
I'm going
different.
to share this tab instead. You should be looking at it. And I think that I'll go back to the sources. Now the people should be able to see it.
Yep.
So let me just expand on this so that people can actually see it.
I just thought, let's have a change of pace. Let's do something different, because this is just getting into the weeds. I think once we're at the point where we're talking about a bank of memes, we're just, this isn't like the bank of memes isn't full of memes that are even, it's not a mortuary of memes. It's like the ashes that are remained, that you can't even reconstruct like we'll go back and say, wasn't that a good meme? No, it's just a bunch of ashes that you can get nothing from at that point. All right. So let's look at this instead.
Okay, that's fine. So this is from Reddit. One
Internet
TikToker,
drama.
what? Internet drama, yeah.
From the
One
subreddit
TikToker accuses another of emotional abuse, physical abuse, and sexual harassment in the astral plane. The accused party's attempts to defend himself that he doesn't actually project into others' dreams have not been successful. So some
Okay, is that not a great
do I
change
want
of
to even
pace?
read any of this now? Like, I
Well,
think
go ahead,
that's
let's-
the whole thing.
Yeah, basically. I mean, there's some detail, I guess, you could go into. Let's see how long it is. Just scroll
Oh
down.
my god, it's kind of a long story. All right.
It's a few paragraphs.
Meet Keisha the Mystic. Keisha is a pretty popular TikToker in the spiritual realm of TikTok and claims to be able to astral project, talk to your ancestors, angels, the goddess Isis. Oh, no.
How about you?
And so much more, but only if you pay her $333 an hour. One could assume that Keisha is just a grifter, parting morons from their money, but the truth is so much better.
Before we go on, I just want to point out that this is from someone called Joan Wayne Gacy, and it's not on Reddit. So if you're interested in finding the original, I'll direct you to Joan Wayne Gacy, just so that we're doing the shout out because I don't want to
Shout out to John Wayne Gacy.
Joan Wayne Casey. And also just remind everyone, send in those super chats, feedthebadger.com/justthetip to make sure we aren't like screaming into the void, and also support us at feedthebadger.com/support. All right, continue, Brian.
All right. Last week, Keisha posted a trio of TikToks that have since been deleted, wherein she recounts a month-long relationship with a man that she would not name. In these videos, she explains how she was physically, emotionally, and sexually abused. The abuse lasted for months, and she was deeply traumatized. There is literally zero trace of the original videos, not even stitches, reposts, or duets. So TikTok itself may have stepped in the scrub to scrub them due to legal issues. After some prodding by her fellow psychic astrologer friends, she finally revealed who the perpetrator of this horrific abuse is. She also revealed that she has never met this man in person, and all of the abuse that she has been enduring for months has been occurring in the astral realm and has been him waging psychic war on her. Psychic grape. The perpetrator was named a fellow popular spirituality TikToker named Saint Finnegan. He first responded by releasing a video stating he does not wage psychic war on women and would never astrologically abuse anyone because he has a girlfriend and he's not even really sure if voodoo is even real. Is this a parody? He stated he only had 2 business-related video calls with Keisha and that she has been sending him bizarre texts for months.
Okay, there's some problems with this. I can't possibly be an abuser because I have a girlfriend. This is another one of those, apparently having a girlfriend makes a man a human being. Well, no, he's a human being whether or not he has a girlfriend. But regardless, it's just there is so much. I was just saying that I'm just picking out the parts that are wrong enough that you can sort of contend with them. You know what I mean? And then there's all the stuff that's so wrong, you don't even know where to begin.
Yeah.
It's like, okay, so you're accusing this man of Casper rape. Grape.
I did get a Rumble rant from someone, but for some reason it didn't come up in my other thing. I'm gonna read the Rumble rant really quick though. NovaFan21 says they unironically, for $2, they unironically believe edgy humor that references bigotry is just a shield for cult propaganda instead of just absurdity humor. Yes, they are some of the most unfunny people on earth. I mean, let's just be real. So, all right. Do you want me to read more of this, or? I mean, I'll just read one more paragraph, and I think I'm done. Since Saint Finnegan also sells spiritual services and advice, instead of saying that spiritual warfare is not real and you cannot enter someone's dreams to assault them, he allowed the possibility it could be real and said he doesn't do those things because they are wrong. I only use my powers for good. Oh.
Ooh. Yeah, this is you really shouldn't have invited. I mean, honestly, you are now arguing with insanity, dude. Okay.
But you're also trying to protect your own grift. So you're like, no, I totally could do it, but I've taken the oath, the oath of Osiris, and I swear I will not. I actually can't use my powers in the what do you call it? Like the waning of the moon in Cancer. I don't know, whatever people say. I don't know.
Just keep going.
All right. On most of TikTok, the comments are overwhelmingly supportive of Keisha's side of the story, and that the accused man is definitely astral projecting into her dreams and gaslighting her about it. Supporters are posting videos asking for prayers to punish people who are not believing that she went through spiritual warfare. Meanwhile, the other half of spiritual talk exploded with a secondary drama surrounding spiritual psychosis, which means that while you're doing shadow work, astral projecting into angel energies and the like that you can sometimes get confused and mistake spiritual experiences as happening in the physical plane. These conversations are slightly more skeptical of the accuser's story, but still by the premise that the spiritual abuse is actually happening. Oh.
How the hell would you prove this? This is like basically witch hunting at this point.
Yeah. I don't know. I mean, all right. I'll just.
Is that the end?
No, there's more. A little bit. However, this still means the psychic abuse is still his fault, because while he did not abuse Keisha in his astral reality or the physical reality, he probably did it in her astral reality. In the end, as of 2 days ago, St. Finnegan appeared distressed and pleaded for Keisha and her supporters to stop harassing him, noting the harassment was actually taking place in the mortal realm on TikTok, not the spirit realm. So, you know, like, because when you're gaslighting, you're doing it in the real world, which is, I mean, if you have like the ability to astral project, why wouldn't you just do it there? That's what I would do, I guess. He pushed back slightly more on the reality of spiritual warfare, stating that instead all emotional energies come from within. Despite like thousands of supportive comments on his own post, the drama raged on. And just a few hours ago, he announced that he is taking a break from social media. In the days between deleting the original videos and the drama going viral, Keisha returned to business as usual content until today, when she posted an update thanking supporters and pushing back on those that did not believe her. Most interestingly, she implies 3 other victims have come forward who experienced spiritual warfare from the accused in the exact same way that she experienced it, and she will be sharing one of their stories. The comments are full of drama, with Keisha responding to those skeptical of her that the truth will be revealed soon. So there you go. You can literally accuse a man of doing something he shouldn't. Like? I mean,
there is no way to defend against this. None whatsoever. Even the fact that he wasn't in her presence isn't a defense against astral projection grape. Good grief.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so what are the comments?
You know,
this is horrifying.
This is the dumbest shit I've ever heard, but in the most amazing way possible. Outstanding write-up.
Unfortunate for the guy.
Horrifying, but also kind of hilarious.
There's going to have some serious consequences to his life for this.
I hope not, but
yeah,
maybe he should just like walk away. This sounds like not safe for work D&D adventure. That's it. That's all I got.
There was a bit more.
Where?
Down. Incredible. Thank you for sharing it. Up. Sorry, up. This is incredible. I'm astounded that. But also they're saying that he's stuck because he'd have to admit he's a grifter.
Yeah, he's stuck because he would have to basically be like, "Look, this isn't real." Yeah, it's a checkmate move by her. So, hi Bane. Thanks for the eggplants.
Yeah, this is it's a tough position to be in, but you know, he might actually just be like a spiritualist, not actually saying he can do like voodoo. He might just be like, "Oh, let's meditate together" or something else. You know, that's
maybe.
I mean, I know a lot of people don't think that's legitimate, but you know, if you have somebody who's helping you with those aspects of your life, at least it's positive in a way. I don't know. I honestly think that he's not having a trouble condemning. It's not the issue of him revealing his own grift. It's the fact that he'd have to actually go after a woman. That's the trouble here.
Yep.
But anyway, I thought that this was very bizarre. Thought we'd end with something.
I think you're onto something.
Yeah, that this is bizarre.
I think it might be. It might be
a little bit bizarre.
Okay. A little bit. Okay, I got another super chow.
Yay.
Michael Keller with the super chow. He gives us, it's $5 and says, "Happy holidays, and don't astral project you to the States, Allison, or DHS gifts you a ticket to Cuba. Night, everyone. Thank you, Michael Keller. Wow,
I will definitely
that one
keep-
had layers. That
was a lot of layers.
Yeah, there were
Believe
layers.
me, I'll keep my spiritual essence on the northern side of the border. At least
I
until
can't
my
promise I
ban is
won't
lifted.
astral project into like some other country. I don't know. I can't. I mean, when I'm asleep, I'm not in control, so it's not up to me.
Hey, Brian. Men are always in control.
Oh, that's right.
There's no point at which
Always.
they're not. You know,
Yeah.
even when they're asleep, blackout drunk, or being raped, men are always responsible. Don't you forget it. Ugh.
I'm sorry. Mother Mary. All right.
Okay,
I guess
well,
we can just end it there.
yeah. So if you like the show and you want to support us, we are doing our monthly fundraiser. feedthebadger.com/support. Very much appreciated. Very important to make sure we can continue to do this content, which I think is really valuable because we look at these things from a unique perspective. And if you would like to send us a comment, tell us we're not shouting into the void at any time after the show is over, you can do so at feedthebadger.com/justthetip. We get them and we appreciate them, and we will read them at the next reasonably relevant show. So once again, support the show at feedthebadger.com/support. Send us a message at feedthebadger.com/justthetip. And back to you, Brian.
All right. Well, if you guys like this video, please hit like, subscribe if you're not already subscribed. Hit the bell for notifications. Leave us a comment. Let us know what you guys think about what we talked about on the show today. If you guys want a link to the original video, it's in the description. Thanks, guys, so much for coming on today's episode of the Rantzerker, the Slim Zerker, really. And we'll talk to you guys in... Yeah.
Actually,
Are we doing a...
Yeah, we got through it. We got through most of it. I think it was,
Yeah.
you know, we did.
Yeah,
we did
no,
do
I mean,
good.
there's the... Well, we were just searching by search terms, so I could always go back and find... They actually have
No.
it broken up into chapters, too.
No,
So
I
we could
can't
always go
stand-
back with Karen. I know, it's terrible.
So low energy, it's such crappy work. I just no. Okay,
And
let's
yet,
keep going.
$700,000. All right, thanks, guys, for coming. Share the video. We'll talk to you guys next time.
Men's right activists are machines, dude. Okay? They are literal machines. They are talking point machines. They are impossible to fucking deal with, especially if you have like a couple dudes who have good memory on top of that too. Holy shit, you're fucked.